Strangeland, people. If y'all got to see
That is
Strangeland.
one underrated movie from the 90s, bro.
Man, it is. Whew,
Way
you talking?
better
Oh, she was
than
in Good Burger?
Fear.com. I will tell you that right fucking now.
I never even bothered with
Fear.com?
Fear.com, to be honest. Is that Frankie Muniz or is that Stay Alive?
That's Stay Alive. The Fear.com is the
Fear.com
one with
got
Stephen
Steven Dorff,
Dorff.
right? Okay, yeah. I had the VHS and that shit just sat
Yeah,
at my crib. I was like, eh.
it was bullshit. Like, what the fuck is this? Wannabe fucking
Fear,
ring of the internet? It was
Fear,
basically what it was.
um, yeah, I never even attempted, yo. Never even attempted to watch it. I guess that was like, they were like, yeah, we're going to be the new edgy thing of the internet horror. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, sure, whatever.
We
I just never.
we went on a Friday night to Hollywood Video one night, man. That was the only one there. I was like, okay, let's just get that and a couple games and we'll just go. We put that shit on, man, and it was a snooze fest.
Udo Kier's in it. I know he dies.
Yeah, but he's only in it for like 10 minutes.
Jeffrey Combs is in here. Udo Kier is like one of those actors. Like, look, man, I need 100,000 just to show up for 2 seconds.
No, I need 100,000 per word I say. That's why he doesn't have any lines.
Is he legend like that? Like, I know Udo Kier's a big deal, but is he like legendary like that that you think he could demand? Like, could he really demand a salary like that, movie wise?
I don't know. I was thinking about this one thing that I was reading about J. Cole, like how he charged 100,000 per word for a bird.
It's fucking ridiculous. Per word? Like, yeah, you're tripping, dog. I'll do this. Yeah, I'll do this track by myself.
That's real. But to me, I was like, that makes total sense on why he wasn't doing so many features back then.
Yeah, I wish somebody would. Like, you want what? Nah, I'm rewriting the whole thing for just me.
Udo Kier, though, like, he is a legend, but he's someone that would work with like up and coming directors and new directors. He's basically like Nick Cage. He just wants to work. So
I'm about sick of Nicolas Cage, man. I'm sorry. Like, I got Udo Kier was in. He played Andre Toulon in Puppet Master, the littlest wretch.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right. Yeah. Which is a funny ass fucking movie, but very, very offensive. Fucking great movie though.
God, man, like, how fucking what is this? Like the 10th Puppet Master movie?
Yes, and then they made like fucking 6 more after that.
Is it really the 10th though? I was just taking a shot in the dark, but it really is Puppet Master 10.
Yeah, it's really Puppet Master 10.
See, Barbara Crampton's in this shit.
You got the dude from Reno 911.
Thomas Lennon.
Yeah.
He was in Harold and Kumar. He was that annoying ass best friend. I can't fuck with this Puppet Master shit.
I tell you what I can't fuck with is early 2000s horror movies. That's something that I can't fuck with. Because
it's a good
I know, I was sitting on that one.
The great fucking said I was sitting on that one, man. Oh, man.
So when this was brought up, I was like, man, I don't know, dude, because I honestly remember the first few years of the 2000s being fucking horrendous. I don't remember the 2000s being that great in horror. And
we had a rough run. We had a rough little run.
Because it was remake, it was PG-13 horror, and it just wasn't my bag. I remember in high school, like, good horror movies were hard to come by at that time.
Yeah. They were.
So I don't know how you feel about, like, the earlier 2000s, or what your experience was.
I'm a little more lenient towards it because I was getting some pretty good horror outside of, like, the early 2000s. it really was remakes. It was like remakes, reboots, all of that kind of shit. But you got like gems that I feel like were like 90s inspired. Like I always say the 90s was like the best year, like the best decade of horror for me. But like you were getting some 2000s movies that was kind of taking some creative liberties. Some of them was just treading old territories because a lot of them were reboots, sequels to the remakes and shit like that. But I don't know. I got a couple here that I feel like are going to ruffle some feathers. Even my honorable mentions might ruffle some feathers too.
What's your earliest film on your list? Like, what's the earliest year on your list?
Oh, Smack Dead in the year 2000. Smack Dead 2000. That's the earliest. That's the earliest on my list. Wait, do I have two of them from the 2000s? From the literally like the 2000. I think I got 2000.
So
even.
The one on the earliest on my list is.
You about to say like 2006?
You're right.
For
You're
real?
right. Yeah.
God damn, he said fuck the first 5 years. I don't even care.
You're right. That is the earliest on my list. There's some films on here that I did drop by the wayside because these are films that we talked about in earlier episodes. The one thing about me is that I always want to highlight films that I haven't talked about nearly as much. And the whole point of this is that this is our underrated list. These are films that we feel do not get talked about nearly enough in the horror community or just in movies in general when we talk about 2000s horror. It's always the usual suspects, The Descent, Hatchet, Behind the Mask, stuff like that. It's always those guys. May. You know what I mean? So I'm always trying to like find new movies and try to push the envelope a little bit more and go outside my spot. I'm not comfortable with my list though. I'll be honest. I'm not very sure about my list. I might switch up mid form. But yeah, I got a couple of them. One's definitely controversial because there's a controversial actress in it. So that's going to be fun to talk about.
I feel like I know where you're going with that one.
Yeah. But yeah, you want
to controversial actress headline in the movie?
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like I know exactly the one you're talking about. But we'll cross that bridge when we
get there.
When we get there, you know?
Okay, you want me to kick it off or should you?
No, you got it. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to switch because this is a horror movie that I feel is starting to gain a little bit more traction, especially in the internet community. A lot of people are starting to figure out where these crazy gifts are coming from, and it is the Poughkeepsie tapes. Found footage, serial documentary. I saw this late one night, bro, and it fucking blew me away, and it gave me the creeps. This was a creepy fucking movie. This movie got shelved by MGM because they said that it was based on a real Poughkeepsie serial killer, which is not the truth. And the director said, no, don't do that because you're going to fuck our movie. And that's exactly what happened. Those little gifts of the dude wearing the fucking mask, the creepy, the woman in the basement, the contortionist with the mask and the red hair, like that all came from the Poughkeepsie tapes. The Poughkeepsie tapes is a crazy fucking mockumentary actually that comes off as a true crime documentary, and I think it's one of the best found footage of that decade. It's up there. You know, you got Cloverfield, you got Paranormal Activity, and then you got the Poughkeepsie tapes smack dab in the middle of the 2000s. This movie came out in 2007. I finally watched it, I think 2 years ago, and it fucking made my skin crawl.
Legitimately creepy film, people. Like I second that notion. I've only watched it once, and I just took a chance on it. I think I was in like found footage mode. I was like, all right, I think, do I want to watch The Bay? Do I want to watch The Gallows? This, that, and the other. And I was like, let me watch the yo. that moment where that woman is tied up in that basement and that thing is like you said, that contortionist thing is creeping towards her, and then it gets up all close, like on the side of her face.
Yeah,
Her face is like scotch taped up. She can't even scream, but you can kind of like see she's trying to scream and make noise. That, in the moment where I think it was a woman that got in the back seat of that guy's car, and like that is such a fucking uncomfortable, just awkward movie, man. Like they play on like the pacing of it is crazy. Like it's not like you're not gonna get jump scare like how a lot of people are spoiled with shit like that, especially in found footage. They take their time with this shit, man.
yeah,
And that, like, when those uncomfortable moments come, whew, yeah. And I watched it with all the lights out, like, and I'm just like, yeah, this is. I'm like moving. I'm like, yeah, this
yeah.
is a little uneasy for me, man. Yeah, that's a good one. That
Yeah.
I did not even see coming on your list at all. I didn't see that one coming at all.
Giant Music 831_702. There's 5 found footage movies that actually hold weight, and that's one of them. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is
Well,
definitely one of those movies that
well,
just, yeah. I think we talked about movies that we'll only watch once. That's one for me. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
man. Like,
That's another.
and this cast, I'm looking at this cast. These aren't super familiar actors and actresses. That made it more realistic.
Yeah.
Like, because it's not like, oh, that person's a big star, they're going to survive. Oh, that person's a B actress, she might survive, or he might. Like, no, you don't know who these people are. So it made it feel like, is this real footage, or is like it gives you that type of feel, and it's just like it's just super fucking uncomfortable to watch, man.
Giant
And it
Music
works. That's why it
response. I watched it twice.
works. Shit.
Fuck you, Giant.
Your strength shall be rewarded. That shit is crazy, man. That's a found footage movie. Like you don't even really put that on if you got like a bunch of friends over. You're not just going to put that movie on. That's just something where you want to scare the shit out yourself on purpose.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night type of thing.
Yeah, seriously, that's like one of those true crime documentaries where you just like turn on and just like, oh shit. Yeah, but that's my number 5, the Poughkeepsie Tapes from 2007.
All right, I feel like mine is pretty debatable, but not so much. It's debatable because a lot of people won't even consider this a horror movie. They might consider it, I think, something that the poster said on it, or the VHS cover or the DVD or some shit, it said a white knuckle thriller. I don't even know what the fuck that means, but it sounds like a clever term to use. But it's like kind of more of a thriller, like road type of thing, as opposed to a straightforward horror movie. So it is debatable, but mine is going to be Joyride.
Yeah.
I feel like Joyride is a movie that, you know, if you like, when you talk about like those road trip from hell movies, those cross county horror type of movies or thrillers, whatever the case may be, a lot of people will mention The Hitcher and things like that. But I think Joyride does not. This is a movie that doesn't even rely on violence at all. And for some reason, this movie, it's not really scary, but just to put yourself in that scenario, like it's been times where everybody's been on the road, and I don't know how many of our listeners fuck around with CB radios, but it's like we've all done, like people have done prank calls, and that shit is basically like a harmless prank gone wrong, and somebody gets their jaw ripped off in the first act of the movie, and then before you even get to the second act, the chase is already on, and this dude they did something they hadn't really done before with the CB radio, and this guy's voice. You got Ted Levine, who's got like one of the most distinctive voices in the entire
choice.
Dude. Amazing. The movie doesn't work without his voice. Like they put Ken Kirzinger, who played Jason in Freddy vs. Jason. He's Rusty Nail in parts 2 and 3. And I'm like, this guy's voice, this boy ain't got it. This boy ain't got it at all. Like Ted Levine his voice is so like identifiable, and it sticks with you throughout the whole movie. There's no violence in this movie, like at all, really. And it's still like, I think the movie's like PG-13 or something. No,
it's rated R. I think it's rated R for language. Yeah, it's for language though.
Oh, you're right, because they drop a shit ton of F-bombs in there. You are absolutely right. Yeah. It is definitely rated R. But yeah, 2001, like, and then you had like, I think it was like the perfect pairing with Paul Walker trying to be the straight guy, Steve Zahn trying to, he's like the goofy brother who can't get his shit together. Then you throw Lily Sobieski's character into the mix, and I just, she's about as annoying as Mary Jane in the Spider-Man movies. I don't really like her like that. So when she gets kidnapped, I'm just like, yo, fucking take her. Like the brothers, let Lewis and Fuller get away scot-free, man. Just take her ass and just leave her at that point. No, problem solved. And tell her mom, like, yeah, she ran away with some guy. I don't know.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but Joyride's like, it's one of those movies where if you do like a road trip from hell movie, like the pacing on this movie, I think is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And the fact that it skates by, like, I'm a gore hound. The fact that it skates by with no violence, it's got good performances in there. You don't see, they got a completely different actor to play Rusty Nail than Ted Levine, but you get like 2 quick glimpses of his face, and then that's it. They made it their business to not show his face throughout the whole movie. So that gave you mystery to who he was, and like, how was this dude strong enough to rip somebody's jaw clean off? And you don't even, that sequence where you don't see it, and they're going back and forth from them listening to the wall, and then it's almost a jump scare when the phone rings, and then they listen again, and then the phone rings again, like that. The movie is just like, it plays out so good, man. But nobody really talks about it.
Yeah.
Nobody really talks about Joyride.
I totally agree. Giant Music also says, Joyride, one of the dopest movies ever, and I've done a lot of road trips. The sequels suck, except for one, were horrible, but definitely real shit. That shit rated R, and Steve Zahn made it entertaining to cancel out the boring parts, but Joyride, one of the dopest. I agree, man. Like, the hospital scene after the jaw ripped off was fucked up, Giant says.
Yeah, it was. And that cop with the toothpick in his mouth, I didn't realize until years later, the guy who walks them in there to show them the guy that gets his jaw ripped off, he is one of the brothers from the original Mother's Day movie. I don't remember if he was Ike or Adley. He's one of the brothers. He's the one that gets the I think he gets the claw hammer to the nuts. And I think they stick and then I think they stick a hanger, or it was like a TV antenna or something, through his throat. Yeah, that's the same guy. That's the same motherfucker. But yeah, that's my.
That's your number 5? Okay.
Yeah.
My next one, I might as well just get it over with. All the Boys Love Mandy Lane from 2000's.
I knew it. When you said controversial actress, that I was like, okay. I said, I know where you're going with this.
Starring Amber fucking Heard. I know Amber Heard has a lot of publicity and controversy surrounding her. I still enjoy All the Boys Love Mandy Lane, and it is one of those movies that doesn't get enough credit in front of early 2000s. You know what I mean? Like, it's post Scream, and this is one of these slasher movies that does what Scream wanted to do just a little bit better. And it's not self-aware. It's not meta. It's just a bunch of horny kids going to a cabin, and they're all trying to fuck Amber Heard, and they all get picked off one by one. We got Harvey Weinstein to blame for the fucking disastrous release behind this movie. The guy that did this movie did Warm Bodies. And so when Warm Bodies became a hit, they finally released this movie, which is unfortunate.
Serious?
Yeah. This movie was shot back in 2006, but did not release on home video in late 2007, early 2008.
And Harvey Weinstein was behind that?
Yeah, he was a producer, I think. The American distributor.
Because Amber Heard wouldn't fuck him. So he's just like, oh, yeah? Well, I'm not going to release your movie. Fuck it.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of good things here. Mandy Lane is one of, in my opinion, I think it's one of the best 2000s slasher movies that people just don't talk about from that era. And, it's a movie that just kind of fell by the wayside. No one really talks about it. No one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is actually guerrilla filmmaking at its best, because a lot of the public domain music, you could tell was public domain because it just sounds like it's from the 1950s. There's no way in hell these fucking college kids are listening to 1950s radio, which kind of makes it even more funnier, in my opinion.
A beautiful accident.
Yeah.
I gotta finish this movie, man. I started watching it one night. I don't remember how long ago it was. I started watching it because I was like, this concept seems a little crazy. I think once they got to the house and started partying, I had turned it off. Not that it was anything wrong with it, but I don't remember what the hell else I was doing.
See, Giant says Mandy Lane, the Amber Turd. That was a good ass movie. The nerd was
Oh,
predictable villain,
Lord.
but the plot twist at the end was wow. I agree. Plot twist was pretty crazy. What you think of the Ward? Since we're talking Amber Turd movies, LOL. Damn.
I I've only seen the Ward once. I think when it first came out on DVD, I want to say that shit came out in like '09, and I remember I jumped at one sequence. I don't remember what the hell happened, but I remember liking the cast. And if it's a movie where people are locked in a mental institution, I'm already going to check it out, like regardless. But I don't really remember too much from. It's one of those movies I got on my list to revisit,
And
The
it's
Ward,
John
and John
Carpenter's
Carpenter.
last movie he directed, which is really unfortunate.
It was, yeah, it definitely was.
The last movie he ever directed.
I mean, he'll be back for The Fog, The Thing Part Two or some shit. He'll be back. Oh,
Halloween Never
this came out in
Dies.
2000. Halloween Never Dies. Yeah, this came out in
Halloween Never
2010.
Retires.
I was a year off.
But that's my number four. All the Boys Love Mandy Lane. Yeah, yeah, it's one of my favorites from that era. I think it doesn't get talked about nearly enough. Good reason, bad reason. It's up to you guys. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that one. I knew that was coming when you were like, yeah, this actress, it's a little controversy behind her, but this is on my list. I was like, yep, I know it. I know it. People, listen, Amber Heard is, let me not even say anything. I'm not going to say anything about her. I'm not going to, listen, we still need that story. Maybe we'll get the untold, unsung, the Amber Heard story on R&Z Live and shit. That'll be like one of our biggest
Oh
episodes.
hell
And they'll probably
yeah,
try to
bro.
cancel that shit. They'll try to cancel that shit before it gets released. Like, you guys can't put this out here. Amber Heard
They'll
is not.
shove it like the Dream Camps episode with Mos Talib and Kanye and Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Like you know how they shelved that episode for like a year, and
We'll
only
get
clips of
fucking.
it now are starting to resurface.
We'll get blacklisted for for getting Amber Heard on the show. That'd be fucked up.
Hey,
Y'all can't
Giant
hate her.
says Giant says the Ward sucked. What's y'all take on the Substance? Substance was one of my favorite movies of the year last year. I thought it was a phenomenal movie. Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley gave two of the best and boldest and bravest performances from a female actress that I've seen in a while.
Yeah. Yep. Same. The crazy thing is like I agree with everybody that's saying that as much body horror as we saw in that movie, the nastiest thing in that shit was Dennis Quaid eating shrimp. Like
Yes.
that shit was absolutely trifling, yo. Trifling in every way. That movie is directed so fucking well, yo, because it lets you know off the bat exactly who he is. And it's like I felt bad for Demi Moore, man, because it is kind of low key, and I ain't trying to get all deep into it and everything, but it is low key social commentary on these celebrities and the lengths they'll go to stay young.
Yeah.
Like it's a play on ageism and all of that shit, man. And the fact that that's what happened when she took that drug, I'm like, oh, that shit came out your back. Like your younger self came out your back, and it's like you become dependent on it. And it was definitely one of the best movies, and I went into it blind. I was like, all right, man, I don't like feeding into the hype, but everybody's talking about the Substance. I said, let me check it out, and that shit was a brilliant fucking film. I'm glad Demi Moore got her her due diligence on that shit, because that was great, and the director too. I'm glad that the director said there will not be a sequel. We're
Don't even
not
ask.
doing a sequel.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Smart. Do not fall into that shit, because it's fine by itself. Because if you do the Substance 2, then two people got to come out of her back next time. Like two younger versions. Like it's got to be like Gremlins at this point, like a body horror version of Gremlins or something like that. That'd be fucking
That'd
crazy.
be nuts.
The Substances. Oh man, yeah, that's bonkers if they do that.
Let's see what he says.
There, real quick, watching it. The throwing up was a little throwing up a titty. Said the throwing up a titty was wild. Oh man. Oh
Oh, he
shit.
wants to join in. Let's see what he's got to say.
Almost typed some shit in. I didn't know what I was reading just now.
There we
Shit's supposed
go.
to be insane.
Bruh,
Yo,
What's up?
rolling up a titty is wild. Oh, I gotta close my door. I just moved. I'm in a fucking gated community now. I got fucking loud ass neighbors, but throwing up a titty is wild, bro. Like,
Yeah, they went all out with that body horror in
yeah,
that fucking movie, man.
oh,
It was
bro.
it was it was disrespectful.
I watched that movie with a model, with an actual real life published model, and this bitch, shout out, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but this bitch literally was like, that shit's true, that's just true, that's how they act, that's how it really goes down. And at the end of the movie, the bitch throws up a titty. A titty. You could have thrown up anything. You could have thrown up the substance. You could have thrown
And
up
then, so
the little fucking the pouches, but that bitch threw a titty up.
yeah.
What the
and at that
fuck?
point when she threw the titty up, did the model next to you? Did she say, "Yeah, they do that too"? They really throw up titties as well.
She didn't say it like that, but she was definitely was like, "Yo, that shit's real." Like my homegirl legit was like, "This is real." There's definitely like a fucking not a silver lining, a fucking there's a cover up to it, but there's like a substance to it, like literally. Hey, a substance to
Yeah.
it.
Pun intended. I
Like,
see what you did there. I see what you did there.
they plotted this shit out right. The person who wrote this movie definitely is either dated a model, managed a model, or has fucking been in the entertainment industry in some sort of fucked up way.
Well, she's been the director. She's actually been in the entertainment industry and directed a few films for I think about 5 years. She did a revenge movie called Revenge,
God,
which is pretty
I'm not
fucking
gonna
gnarly.
hurt about it.
It's
But
pretty
so, all
gnarly.
right.
Oh, the director.
So is it
She wrote it and
was it
directed it.
just me? Was it just me thinking like this was just like it felt like a foreign film that was it was a foreign film in my take from it. A foreign film that was made into some like what's the best word to say? Like some like real shit that goes on. I don't know who the fuck made that shit. I don't pay attention to it like that, but that shit like that bitch whoever did that shit took The Shining, fucking all the greatest horror movies from the fucking 80s, 90s, and 70s. Let's just make the camera angles fucking weird. Let's
The
get
Shining. That's a great
camera
fucking reference.
footage. Let's get weird fucking camera footage, weird camera angles, and we're just gonna fucking outlandish this shit. That was the craziest movie I ever fucking seen. Like, and I watched a lot of fucked up movies.
It's directed so, and that's crazy. You mentioned The Shining because that is you can look at some of the shots. Like I got the director pulled up, but they got the Substance trailer playing on IMDb, and you look at some of the shots. You can kind of compare them to a Kubrick movie.
Yeah.
In my room. Turn it down. I'm not kidding.
Hey, I just moved. I got Mama G out here bitching at me because we in a new place. But no, that shit was fucking wild, bro. Watching that shit, I watched it by myself the first time.
Yeah.
Broke that shit down. I'm like, these motherfuckers literally took camera shots from old 70s horror movies, like The Shining, like I just said. They got fucking fuck. There's even like fuck. Oh, I sound like an idiot right now, but the fucking the Thing movie fucking shots. There's Thing fucking movie shots.
Oh,
Like,
John
Kurt
Carpenter, the Thing. Yeah.
There's certain fucking shots in that movie that they took shots from. Like they filmed that shit in the most artistic way ever. Like, granted, it is about models. It's about celebrities. So obviously they're gonna do some fucking. They're gonna do some little. Let's make it artsy. But that movie, I literally said the body horror didn't make me uncomfortable. The film shots made me uncomfortable.
Like
You feel me? Like, you know
movie.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you watch that shit. I had a homie hit me up and say he watched that shit in the theater on mushrooms, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck were you thinking? What the
Dude, hey, yeah, that
fuck was wrong?
That
What
had
did
to
you
have
wake
been
up
one
the
hell
next
of a
morning
trip,
thinking
bro.
about?
Holy shit.
Bruh,
Jesus, not on
bitch
not on
threw
the
a titty up.
shroom. Though.
She threw a titty up. If I saw that shit on mushrooms, I'd be like, yo, this bitch threw a titty up. I'm gonna go to I'm not a religious person, but I might need to go to a confessional now.
And if
She
you
threw
see
a
it in a
titty
big on a big
up.
ass screen too, like
Oh,
this didn't come out in IMAX, did it?
Nah, but it did come out in the theaters, and I saw it in the theaters, bro, and it was just like, what the fuck?
I
You just hear
saw that shit
everybody
in
in
my
the theater
living room.
just gasping, like, like
I can't
what?
even imagine that shit. I almost went and seen that shit with my sister in theaters, and I was like, I didn't know what the fuck it was. And then I heard the reviews, I saw all that shit, watched it in my house when it came out, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch? And then I watched it again with my singer, who's a model, a published model, and she's sitting there breaking that shit down, like trying to be like, well, this is how that goes. That's how that goes. And I'm like, yo, this might be one of the realest fucking movies ever. Granted, I mean, what was fuck? What's the name of that movie where they had the fucking where the bums with the bums that were drinking the cheap alcohol? The stuff? Was
Street
it called the
trash.
stuff?
Street trash. Yeah, we were just
Trash.
talking about that.
That
Yeah,
shit.
street trash.
That's what it reminded me of, but like the high class version.
Yeah, that's see now y'all making me want to watch the damn remake of or the sequel of Street Trash now.
I know. Now I'm curious to see the Fried Barry's actually in that movie.
Oh,
The
for real?
actor?
Yeah.
Fuck. Now I gotta go back and look. Hey, I'm gonna jump off. I'm gonna let you guys finish some shit. Like I said, I just moved into a new house, so I gotta go do some shit. But I'm gonna jump back on in a second.
What else, man? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, on the way,
You on the?
motherfuckers.
All right, man.
All
Hey,
right,
you know
John.
I'm
That's
from the
good seeing you,
A31,
man.
bro. We talk like that.
Hit you up.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Shit, fried berries in this?
Yeah, he's the lead actor. He's the lead. The guy that also directed Fried Barry actually did the movie too.
He did. Ryan Kruger. It's a nasty motherfucker.
All right, we at number 4. Where are you at when you're number 4?
Did you do? Oh, I'm on my number 4. My number 4. My number 4. It is it's a slasher remake. Well, it's a remake that was
Nice.
remade into a fuck now. Hell fucking now. If we talk about the movies scripts that I wouldn't even wipe my ass with, I would definitely be talking about Prom Night. That shit is that shit's terrible, man. No, it's a remake of an old film, but it was made into a slasher movie when they remade it. My number 4 is House of Wax. House of Wax, nobody like we talk about all the slasher remakes, but I feel like everybody just is we get a little close-minded. It's like, yeah, we got the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, we got the Friday the 13th remake, we got Halloween, we got Texas Chainsaw Massacre, yeah, but House of Wax, they did what remakes should do. They took a completely different approach. They've got subtle nods to the Vincent Price one, but this is they turned it into a slasher movie. They kind of were teens, but they were like college kids for the most part.
Yeah.
The characters aren't too bad in this movie. I wanted so bad to hate Paris Hilton the moment that they said she was in the movie. They put her on the poster, but Paris Hilton's got one of the best chase sequences and death sequences in any slasher movie. Chad Michael Murray is cool in the movie. Yeah, that scene, and it's like even when that thing goes through her head and she falls, and he even takes it out. I'm just like, yeah, she might be all right. Like she'll be fine. She's okay. It's all right. She gonna be all right. But like, yeah, the characters aren't terrible in the movie, and the fact that the twist at the end of it was the fact that Trudy didn't have 2 sons, she had 3, and then you realize that one of the brothers was the guy that was driving that dirty ass truck with the Bowie knife. But Vincent and Bo as the twin brothers, and like just the whole there's even like there's beautiful moments in this slasher movie. Like when Vincent stabs through that bedroom door and he cuts through the wax babies, he's literally cutting the way that they were separated at birth. because when he gets that mask taken off his face, you can see that they got separated at birth. They had to risk his shit, and Bo's stuff was like basically behind his head. But that was like a beautiful moment. That was like symbolic. That's the word I meant to use. Like it was pretty symbolic in the movie. It's kind of ridiculous that it literally was a house of wax. Like the whole house was wax, but I guess they made for okay third act. And the death sequences in this movie are like some of the most creative and vicious deaths in any 2000 slasher movie, man. And Vincent has got a creepy look to him. Like his mask is his face, but it's a wax face, and it's creepy as fuck. He's got signature weapons that he uses throughout the movie for the most part, and it's like I don't know. It's really mean, vicious moments in the movie when Bo puts super glue on Elisa Cuthbert's lips so she doesn't make any like a whole lot of noise when her brother's looking for him. I'm like, that is fucked up. Like that's like Saw level torturous type of shit right there. Like nobody thought to do that. And then she's got to peel her fucking lips apart, and then he cuts her finger off when she's trying to squeeze. Yo, yeah, it's crazy. And I think the town itself was a good character. Like there were people that you thought might have been like regular people, but they were actually wax. Like the lady that's closing the door and opening the door. Shit like it's an underrated slasher. It's got creative kills. It's got a lot of authenticity to it, and people just don't put no respect on his name.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it because I remember watching this back in 2003. I'm not really vibing with this movie back then. I might have to go back and rewatch this shit.
Man, it's solid. It's a solid one, and they give it a little story to it, man. And the little nods, unless you're like a big fan of the original Vincent Price one, and I'm not even really super crazy about the original, but you will notice certain things that they put in there from the OG movie. But yeah, it's a slasher movie that people, a 2000 slasher that people just don't, I don't really hear anybody mentioning it at all. And I think it was good enough. The character of Vincent in the movie was solid enough to where we could have got maybe one more, maybe two more out of this. Maybe two more. But yeah, that was.
I'm gonna have to rewatch this movie. You kind of sold me on this. I'm gonna have to rewatch this. So I don't remember this movie all that well. I just remember Paris Hilton dying, and that's about it. But I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this out. So this is put on the list. All right, my number 3 is a little creature film that was released in 2008, starring Shane Wingham, and it is Splinter. This is a movie that no one talks about. This is actually a very effective creature fucking feature movie. And this is how you do it.
God.
This movie was badass. I bought this movie blind at Target back in the fall of 2008 because the poster was so cool, man.
Damn. I didn't even put that in my honorable mentions. Splinter. Yo, yeah, Splinter's the shit. And it's always on Tubi. God bless Tubi. Shout out to them. I love that fucking movie, yo. You said creature feature. I was like, huh? And then you said Shea Wiggum. I was like, you see my eyes lit up?
Yeah, I was like, oh, you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going.
I love that fucking movie, man. That movie's so good, yo. And it's like nobody saw it. It's like nobody's ever seen it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I don't see anyone talking about it as like one of the best creature features or in the 2000s. Like, this is a movie that's always getting left off the list as one of the most underrated horror movies of the 2000s. This movie is fucking underrated. Completely. The practical effects are actually very well done. They're very well done.
Oof, when that shit gets it, when that shit is in his arm, and his arm starts like pop locking all over the place, and then they've got to take his arm off and somehow.
And I love how he says, man, you can't change a tire, but you can cut off a fucking arm like a champ, though.
Oh, didn't they have to bust that shit off with the cinder block or whatever it was? Ooh. Yeah, that movie, and it was like kind of like a monster movie, but that thing was also like part parasite.
Yeah,
like it was really like, and then even if you got the little pricklies on you, like I was like, what the fuck is this thing, man? That shit, yeah, it was literally using people as a host and turning them into the creature. It's such a fucking crazy, creepy, itchy, nasty, crawly type of movie. Ugh. Yeah,
At first,
That's a
it
good. That's a
looked like a
great one.
fucking porcupine. Like, what the fuck? And then they just start shooting the little needles at him and shit. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh my god.
that shit. Oh my god. If it's one of the downers of that movie, I can't stand the girl's boyfriend in that movie. Just get killed or get the fuck out of the movie, man.
Which one?
I don't like him
The dude with the glasses?
with the glasses. I'm just like, could you be more of a pussy in this movie, man? Like, but I get it. He didn't want anything to happen to his girlfriend, so he had to abide by the rules. They were at gunpoint and this, that, and other. And he was pretty informative because he was like the brainiac.
Yeah.
You know, when the hand is moving around, he's like, yeah, man, it's got liquid necropolis and nephrosis, and it's just like, whatever. If that's what it is, and I guess that's true, dog. Like, how is this going to help us get the fuck out of here? And it's a bottle movie too. Like it's like a siege movie. They got to stay inside to protect them from what's outside. I love that shit, man. Great fucking movie.
It's one of my favorites, man. It doesn't get nearly talked about nearly enough. People always go to The Descent as like one of the best creature films of the 2000s, which I agree that is a great fucking movie, but Splinter deserves to be in the conversation.
Yes. Yep.
Giant says Paris Hilton getting killed was the greatest kill scene ever. Splinter was hard. Tell me why Splinter had Breaking Bad actors in it. Skinny Pete was the first to die in Splinter. I'm gonna have to go back and check that. Oh, bro, and this motherfucker, Giant just gave away my next movie. Because that's my number 2. That's my number 2.
I've never seen it.
You never seen it?
I've never. Is David Arquette in that?
Yeah, he directed it. That was like his only directional debut.
I've never seen it. You know, I've never.
Yeah, I will talk more about The Tripper once I get to number 2. So what's on your what's your number 3?
My number 3. All right, so this is where we start to ruffle some feathers here, people. And I'm unapologetically going into my number 3, and I catch shit for this 24/7. Anytime I even mention that I liked a fiber of this movie, people are like, "Why are you talking about this? One of the worst. This is the worst in the series," and because it is a part of a series. But I saw this in the theater, and I'm like, I get the main problem people have with this, but other than that, these motherfuckers gave me what I wanted, man. My number 3. I'm sorry, people. Underrated. This is my opinions. All right, I don't want nobody coming for me in the comment section. My number 3 underrated. I'm sorry, is Alien vs Predator Requiem. Yeah. I don't care if we're keeping, yes, it is. Yes, it is. If we're keeping the creature feature, listen. I was excited to see that first Alien vs Predator, and goddamn it, if Paul W.S. Anderson did not let me down, this dude just let me down. The movie was PG-13. It's tame. I don't care about any of the characters. The only badass is Sanaa Lathan and Lance Henriksen, and y'all wasted his character. The Predators are too fucking big. The ground shakes when they run. Like, okay, the ending was kind of cool with the Queen and all of that type of shit, but I'm just like, this movie's bad. I wanted to see AVP Requiem so bad. I was the third wheel. My homie and his girl at the time, they went. It was like, yo, you want to come? I'm like, look, I don't have no date to take, but I'll just sit a couple seats away from y'all because I want to see this movie. I get it. The movie's dark as fuck. The cinematography is dark as shit.
Yeah,
but that's
the only thing that kills that movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their intentions were with that dark ass cinematography. I don't understand it, but I can still get the gist of what's going on through it. And this shit gave me everything I wanted. Yeah, the characters are definitely flat. They are flat. I think the main character I was rooting for was Ricky and his brother.
Yeah.
The soldier lady and her daughter. I didn't give a shit about anybody else, really. Not even David Ortiz's character, and he's a great actor. But the idea of this one predator going to planet Earth to not only avenge his homies that got killed by the Pred alien, but to basically play exterminator. Like that scene where he goes in the sewer and he's just throwing like little laser nets here, throwing little laser nets there, setting up traps. He's putting the dead carcasses in the water, but he's like dissolving them so that there's no trace of either of us that's been on here. I'm going to wipe y'all niggas out when we get here, and then I'm trying to find my way back home. And the Pred Alien design is like one of the greatest. I think that was like Tom. I don't know if it was Tom Woodruff Jr., Billy Woodruff. I don't know. I can't remember their names. But the main guys that do the alien, like the stunt work and stuff like that, and the suits. That Pred Alien, it just took no prisoners. I was telling my uncle earlier today, man. I was like, that shit was true horror when that thing went into the nursery and was just looking like it was a buffet. Yeah, it was a buffet in there, and that's everybody in the theater was, oh my god, like everybody was in shock because they're like, yeah, surely they're not going to kill the babies. They didn't show it.
They're not going to do that.
They didn't show it. But then he attacked that pregnant woman and was pumping like the xenomorph eggs into her shit, and I'm like, what the? I just listen. That shit was AVP Requiem gave me everything and more that the first one did give me, and I'm mad that we got cheated because we didn't get a sequel. Yeah. We were supposed to get a sequel by the end of it, and we never got it, and I'm pissed off. But I know everybody hates that movie. I will defend it forever.
It's one of those. It's a mean-spirited movie, and it's dark as fuck. I honestly think if the movie wasn't as dark as fuck, it would probably be held much more better. You know what I mean? I think people would have like said, "Oh yeah, this movie's fucking badass," because the fight scenes in there are fucking great. I think that's a versus movie that actually gets it right.
Yeah, man. Like, cause like, don't get me wrong. There's some cool ideas on paper in that first AVP movie. The idea that they've been fighting for like almost centuries, that part of them, all the xenomorphs climbing up the pyramid, and the Predator just self-destructs, that's badass. The fact that they had the sacrificial chamber with the face huggers in there, that was dope. Like, it's cool ideas, but Paul W.S. Anderson is the right movie, wrong director type of thing. He was not the guy for that fucking movie. He wasn't even the guy for Resident Evil, but I let that shit slide. But when you bring in here's the view of the schematics of the pyramid on the inside, and like, don't nobody want that shit in an AVP movie. Like, come on, man, with this action Matrix shit. Like, I'm tired of that shit. Now, if he applies that when Paul W.S. Anderson does House of the Dead, I'm on board for that shit. Yeah, I'm on board for that.
No.
I'm on board for that shit, bro. What's worse than Uwe Boll's House of the Dead, though? Exactly.
Paul W.S. Anderson, Resident Evil, any of them?
he didn't think twice about that shit, man. Damn, I almost got a fucking headache in that shit. He did not think twice. Listen, we'll never get Paul W.S. Anderson on the show. I mean, for what it's worth, I really love Mortal Kombat, Event Horizon, and Death Race.
I like the movies. I just don't care for Resident Evil. That's it. I just don't care for them.
I have one of them on my honorable mentions, to be honest. Yeah, I do. It's my favorite guilty pleasure franchise. It's like
better be part 2. Now you're a man of taste. It'd probably be part 4.
It'll be part 2 before it's part 4. To be honest, like four is when Paul W.S. Anderson lost his fucking mind, yo. He's just everything is on scissor at that point, man. Everything's in super slow motion. Shit that don't even have to be in slow motion is in slow motion.
Walking in slow motion.
It's in slow motion. The slow motion is in slow motion. Only thing that should have been in slow motion was that fight where Claire Redfield and Alice are fighting the Axeman.
Oh yeah,
like the water's all over the place. They're just looking chef's kiss. So that's the only shit that should have been in slow motion. But Paul W.S. Anderson loves to shoot his wife in slow mo. I mean, whatever. It's Mila Jovovich. Whatever.
Yeah.
I think I won't be surprised if she'll be in House of the Dead. She'll be in.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll be in there. Most definitely. All right.
All
right. Hold on, John. Let us get us through our list, and we'll get you back on. Okay. Well, that was your number 3 or 2?
3, I think.
3. All right.
No. Yeah. That was number 3.
Okay. My number 2. Shit, I just had it. Oh, my number 2 was The Tripper. From 2000.
Okay. Yeah.
Ronald Reagan as the slasher. fucking brilliant. I'm just gonna tell you this right now. You got Jason Mewes as the lead character, along with Lucas Haas, Jamie King. It's basically, and it's funny because Jason Mewes just plays Jay. It's great. He's all fucked up the whole entire time. You got Paul Rubens as the event coordinator, which is great. Thomas Jane as the sheriff's deputy, keeping all these fucking hippies in line. This movie found a way to balance its humor, its commentary, and its horror, and it walked a really fine line, and it did it very fucking well. All the
Thomas Jane, yo.
Yeah. And he's rocking the porn stash from Boogie Nights, bro.
The handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
Look at Paul Rubens, man. Yeah,
I've
never seen this movie.
Oh, dude, it's a badass movie, bro. It is so much fun. It's 90 minutes, and it's just fucking pure fun throughout. The Ronald Reagan mask looks so good, bro. I don't know what they did, if it was latex, but the way they got it conformed to the slasher's face, it makes it look like it's Ronald Reagan himself.
Yeah, it looks like you remember in Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay when they ran into George Bush all of a sudden, and they had that guy who was under like prosthetic makeup acting like George. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like it looks like he's not wearing a mask. Like they wanted to recreate
Reagan. Yeah.
Reagan.
Yeah.
That shit looks creepy though. I'm not gonna lie. It's a shot of him holding the axe that looks pretty fucking weird.
There's a sequence in there where he dispatches 2 naked people in the woods, bro. That is fucking insane. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's one of my favorite. Who?
Courtney Cox says she plays a dog lover hippie.
Oh, yeah, she's like one of the fucking neighbors. This is the time when they were married, so like, you know, of course she'd be in it. You know what I mean?
He was doing his Rob Zombie shit. Like, let me cast my wife.
But she wasn't a lead. She wasn't a fixture. You know what I mean? She was just a side character. So people kind of looked over that. And again, this movie, I feel this movie gets overlooked because Hatchet, Behind the Mask came out all at the same time, and those 2 movies overshadowed The Tripper when they came out to home video. They all had their world premieres 3 months apart at 3 different festivals, like all 3 of those movies. And The Tripper was one that really fell by the wayside, and no one really talks about it. It's one of my favorite slasher movies from that era, and I put that up against Mandy Lane as probably the 2 best slasher movies of that decade.
It's a bold statement, my man.
It is when you think about like Hatchet, Laid to Rest, Hatchet, Laid to Rest, Behind the Mask. So, you know, yeah, and The Tripper, yeah, I mean,
Laid to Rest didn't even make my honorable mentions. Like it's cool. I like how brutal it is, but I'm like, yeah, I don't.
It's Terrifier before Terrifier. Let's just be real. That's what it is.
Yeah, they really go for it, man. Like that. Like I remember doing a video and I was like, yo, y'all could have told me this shit got crazy like this, but I stuck with it. I never watched the second one. I think Chrome Skull Laid to Rest 2 or something like that. I never saw a sequel.
With Danielle Harris and Brian Austin Green.
Yo, Harris is it? See.
Yeah.
Danielle Harris is in every thing.
She is now. Let's see.
Like Halloween.
Okay, let's go into your number 2. What you got?
Oh, my number 2. Oh, wait. Oh, no. This is kind of like, what do you call it? Like an asterisk or some shit you put near something? Because I think they filmed this in 99, but it was released in 2000. Like, when you were like, yo, how far back do you have? And I said, smack dead in 2000, because maybe this was made a year prior, but I remember it premiered on USA in 2000 because I was there that night, sitting in my living room. Yeah, I was sitting in my living room with the VHS ready. At 8 o'clock, I was ready to hit record. Yeah, my number 2 is going to be Cherry Falls. And Cherry Falls, I think post-Scream is one of those, like, you know how we always praise Popcorn? Like we always say, like Popcorn is kind of like a template film for shit like Scream and a lot of these movies that kind of poke fun at themselves and the genre and like a movie within a movie type of thing. Cherry Falls broke some ground that I feel like people don't give credit to, where they flipped the whole. This was Cabin in the Woods shit before Cabin in the Woods breaking rules like this. You basically broke the unspoken rule. At least up until Scream, it was an unspoken rule, but you basically blatantly broke that in the first couple minutes with Cherry Falls, where you're not killing people that are having sex, you're killing virgins.
Mm-hmm.
And it puts the characters in this weird position where it's like, what would you do as if you were one of the students? What would you do if you were a parent in this town? Like, it puts you in so many different scenarios as to like, yo, this killer is not fucking around. Like, and the killer was like on some, Gemini killer and Exorcist leaving his mark or leaving like the words virgin on the victims. That's scary, man. Like Michael Biehn going to Brittany Murphy asking his, like, it's weird moments in the movie. Like, it's really weird. Like, it's almost A24 shit at times, where he's asking his daughter, he's like, yeah, have you and Kenny, gone to third base or whatever it is? And the movie, like, just is dark, it's mean, and it breaks rules, but it's I think a lot of the humor works too. And it's got like Brittany Murphy as the lead girl. She was already in like Clueless, and I don't know if it was before this, she was in The Prophecy 2, I think she was
before,
in.
yeah, it's before.
Yeah, she was the it girl, but I love her she's like weird. She's really weird and she's really emo a little bit in this movie, but that shit works. I like the characters. I like the side characters that are in here. Not all of them, but some of them. Like her classmates that she hangs out with. She hangs out with the girl from Children of the Corn 6. Like, the characters are cool. The adults ain't shit because they're all in on this town secret. And honestly, like, it is a big flaw that they basically ripped off, spoiler alert, Psycho, because Jay Moore is, dressing up like his mom, murking people to fuck off. But that just made him even crazier. That made the killer even crazier. And it's like, his motive, like, did he deserve to do this? I don't think he deserved to do that to the people, the kids in town, but maybe he could have went for Michael Baine's character, the principal, whoever else, did what they did to his mom or something like that. And why wait that fucking long?
Yeah, for
like, he waited like until he was established in the high school, and like, you should have just went on a spree and saved yourself the time. But
maybe that's why, because you want to be established first.
And I wonder what his plan was after the fact. Like, once he killed Brittany Murphy and Michael Biehn, what was the plan after the fact? And I think the director said that he had plans for a crazier orgy scene at the end of it, and the MPAA cut it down. They said, you cannot film it. Yeah, they said that he wanted, he said it was like a sea of blood under the sheets. Like, he wanted one big orgy scene at the party at the end. And then the guy, Leonard Marlison, comes in slicing everybody up, and everybody's under this big sheet that just keeps getting sprayed with blood. I'm like, that, like, visually, he probably would have been. Yeah, visually, that would have been crazy. But the MPA, our good friends, they said, hell no, we're not shooting this shit. Fuck no, we ain't doing it.
Giant
but Cherry Falls is my number.
Giant says, Cherry Falls, that was OG. That shit was uncomfortable.
He said it was uncomfortable.
What do you think about the Smile movies, though?
Smile 2. I like Smile 2.
I thought Smile 2 was like really effective. I love that ending to Smile 2. I thought that ending was so good. I fucking laughed.
Rooting for it too, man. I was hoping it was going to turn out different for her just because it's Naomi Scott, but no.
Yeah.
That shit was not taking no prisoners at all.
Smile 3 gonna be fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, but where do we go from here, man? Like, at this point, like,
everyone dies.
Everybody gotta see the Smile at this point. Yeah. Everybody, and it's just got to be one big massacre of people getting fucked up at the end of it. Like how she hit herself with the microphone. Like, it's got to be a bunch of people in one room. Like, just have a stadium full of people that all got the Smile demon, the Smile infection, whatever it's called, the case of the Smileys. But Naomi Harris, I think she gave like along with like Demi Moore and the other actress in the substance. Naomi Harris gave one of the best performances of the year.
Yeah,
like
she was really good.
She's great, yo.
Yeah, she was great, really good in that movie.
She let everybody know, like, listen, I know y'all ain't like Charlie's Angels and Aladdin, but all right, let me give y'all this horror movie real quick. Let me get y'all one of these, one of these things that need mentions in the performance category. She's fucking great. Sosie Bacon was good in the first one too. The first one was it was okay. It was all right.
Yeah. All right. My number one might be a little controversial.
Ready for
but
this?
Again, dude, like it's RNC. Like everything we have is controversial. So my number
Right.
one is Grace from 2009. And this is about a pregnant woman who gets in a car accident along with her husband. Her husband dies, and she gives birth to her baby, and the baby dies in her arms. Or no, it dies in her stomach, and she still gives birth to the baby. She pushes it out. She has a midwife, and she holds the baby and wills the baby back to life. But now the baby is not really alive, but is it really dead? And it plays with this ambiguity, like is it alive? Is it dead? We don't know. But toward the middle of the second act, you realize, oh shit, this baby is alive and fucked up. And there's like this crazy fucking reveal. It's awesome bug shit, bro. Like the
Oh,
ending is awesome bug shit where
God.
it's like literally fucking heartbreaking and just twisted. And you see what Jordan Ladd, because she plays the mom. When you see what
Oh,
it
is that
does to her
her?
body is fucking insane, and it's like, oh my god, this is crazy.
I didn't know that was. I didn't know Jordan Ladd played the lead. She was in Cabin Fever.
Yeah, yeah, it's Jordan Ladd.
Damn,
I
she
think
just
this was
can't catch a fucking
yeah, I
break.
know, and she gives like a really heartbreaking performance, man. It is really sad. But yeah, this is another movie that people don't talk about because it's overshadowed by another movie that was released at the same time, a remake of It's Alive, which is basically the same fucking movie. Baby being dead and killing people. But
I've never
uh,
seen any of the It's Alive movies either. I think
the
I
first
got the
two are good.
original
The
three.
first two are good. I would stop at three. Don't watch three.
That's where they're on the island or some shit, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's where it fucking literally
I,
jumps the shark.
I haven't seen I haven't seen any of the It's Alive movies. Yeah, even this trailer looks fucked up. Like,
Are you
is she
watching
trying
the?
to breastfeed this? Is she trying to breastfeed this dead
Yeah,
child?
yeah.
This looks dark.
It is. It is. It's fucked up, bro. It is a fucked up movie.
Yeah, this shit. They said the trailer when the captions are popping up, it said, "Let this be a warning. View at your own risk."
Yeah, it is.
I'll watch it. I ain't nobody scared of this shit. I'll watch it. That's a
It's not the fact that
challenge.
it's
I mean,
scared. It's not the fact that it's going to make you scared. It's going to make you uncomfortable. It's going to make you
that's,
uncomfortable. I'll tell you that right now.
that's a challenge too, man. Nobody scared of this movie. Nobody uncomfortable because of this movie. I ain't. I'm not gonna watch it tonight or anything, but I would definitely test the waters, push the
It
envelope
does.
a little bit. This
It
shit
does
is
take. It does take a little bit to get going. Like the first, I think you got to get through 20 minutes of exposition for it to really start going. So about like the 30 minutes is where it really picks up. But it's a very slow, methodical movie. So it is good. It's atmospheric. It is creepy as fuck.
she she starts killing people in
Yeah,
this.
and starts
Uh,
feeding and starts draining their blood to feed to her baby.
oh, is that why the blood's in the baby bottle on the front cover?
Yeah.
Nasty motherfuckers.
So it
Just disgustingly
yeah,
nasty.
it's a good movie, man. It's a good movie. And it's one that doesn't really get talked. It's one that doesn't get talked about at all because it was a fucking direct. It was a blockbuster exclusive, which also doesn't help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Which also doesn't help.
because 2 years later, we all know what happened to Blockbuster.
R.I.P.
Yup. So that's my number one. Grace from 2009.
I'm bookmarking a lot of the shit that you're mentioning. I'm bookmarking this shit in in the laptop
Yeah.
because I got so many fucking movies to catch up on, bro. All right. where the fuck is my number one? I gotta get to my number one because I don't want this. I haven't checked my goddamn battery this entire time. Might be okay. Yeah, yeah, we good. My number one. This was I think this was always going to be number one. It was no doubt in my mind. I think I did my list backwards, and this like I made sure that this was at number one. It's a no brainer for me. This is there's people that made this movie that aren't even proud of it. I don't care. Like if that's the case, then I would listen to the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't like the movie Virus. She hates it. She lobbied for the director to be fired. I don't care. I still love it. You can hate it. I still love it. But there's somebody who starred in this that's not really proud of it. The director is not all the way proud of it. My number one underrated 2000s movie is the most underrated movie from this director for me is going to be Ghost of Mars. Ghost of Mars is
Wow.
cops and robbers and Martians. I'm sold off the rip. Ghost of Mars, they give you a backstory for these Martians. They give you a backstory for this Shining Canyon area that they created. Not to mention, for me, set wise, this is the Mars equivalent of when John Carpenter put those 12 actors in that Antarctica setting in The Thing. The way that this place is put together is just red instead of it being white. Like it's literally almost the same setting. It's a bunch of characters put together to fight something that's evil, and it's on some sci-fi shit. But they give you your cops, you got the rookies, you got the commander, all that shit. Then they give you Ice Cube as the anti-hero, and then they give you his three brothers that pop up, and then you get Wanda de Jesus, like they take the prisoners out of there. You get a little bit of Assault on Precinct 13 in there too. And I think they said that this was supposed to be like a sequel to what the fuck was that? What's the Kurt Russell movie? Escape from LA.
Escape from LA, yeah. This was supposed to be a Snake Plissken movie.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a Snake Plissken movie. I'm glad that it wasn't. I'm not really like I've seen bits and pieces of both movies, Escape from LA and Escape from New York, but I'm glad that they kept this his own thing. The soundtrack for this is John Carpenter like putting motherfuckers on notice in the year 2000. Was 2001, I think this came out.
Mm-hmm.
This was 2001. This was John Carpenter putting people on notice. Like, yeah, I can still do a score, but let me get like I can get up to date. Like he was that guy at the party. Like I can hang with you youngsters. Let me get that guitar real quick. And he gets up on stage and does the craziest riffs of his life. I think he had help with the score.
Yeah, his
but
son.
This rock.
This was the first time he collaborated with his son.
Yo, the shit that makes sense. His son was like, Pop, like let me bring you into the 2000s a little bit and show you what's hip right now. And they work well together when they score movies, man. This score, the moments like when the action moments happen and that score kicks in, everybody's like it's all fair game. And I love that you don't really it doesn't give you enough time to get most of the time I would be mad, but it doesn't give you enough time to get attached to the characters because they get plucked off in battle. And it's not like they just get murked off regularly. They die in battle. I love the fact that they're like, we can run and hide, but no, we're going out here and we're not going to waste bullets. We're going to melee these fucking weapons. We're going to melee these guns and hit you with these assault rifles and these Uzis. We got to make it from point A to point B. We got to wait for the train. Like the movie's fucking great. Natasha Henstridge is a badass in the movie. I love how when the fight sequences and shootout sequences happen, the camera is slowed down to a certain extent to where you catch everything. I think that the way that they slowed that shit down is damn near perfect. Only when Clea Duvall gets her head cut off and they slow motion it, I don't like it. I don't like that part. And we just lost somebody from this movie, man. What is his name? Peter Jason was in this movie, man. Recipe shout out to Peter Jason. He wasn't in it a lot. He goes out like a G because he doesn't want to go back in the first place. But at the end, when they go back, he jumps off the train and he's throwing little hand grenades and shit. You got who else is in this? Robert Carradine's in here.
Pam Grier.
Pam Grier is in this. Richard Citrone, who did
one of his earlier films.
Jason Statham, before he was Jason Statham, yo. I think if Jason Statham, if you make Ghost of Mars today, he's not getting killed. He's gonna tell that director,
Yeah.
yo, get your writer. You better figure it out because I'm gonna get the girl at the end, and he's gonna get that ass, and he'll just have him and Ice Cube just gonna have to coexist together. Because had this been today's Jason Statham, he's not getting killed.
No.
He's not.
And it'd be
But
Jason
he
Statham's
goes
movie.
out like
It
a
wouldn't be
G.
Q's movie.
It's like, yo, Ice Cube would have been the Jason Statham role, like the Jericho role, and we would have had to go get Jason Statham out of
Yeah.
lockup. Like, yeah, that, yo, you ain't lying about that shit. That's definitely what would have happened.
Exactly what would have happened.
Jason Statham would have took control of the whole movie. And you got who the fuck else? It was somebody else in this.
Jason Statham, Ice Cube, Pam Grier, Natasha Henstridge.
Joanna Cassidy from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. She was in the Tommy Knockers. I didn't
that's right. She
even
was the
realize
judge.
until
She was
I didn't even
the judge.
realize until a couple days ago she was the chick from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You know how fucking long I did not know that?
Wait,
Like, I
who
literally...
did she play? Who was she in Roger Rabbit?
She was the main girl that was... she was kind of like Bob Hoskins' girlfriend.
Oh!
Yeah, that's her. That's Joanna Cassidy.
I just learned something new.
Man, because I looked up the cast, and I was like, Joanna Cassidy. I was like, well, what else has she been in? I remember watching Tommy Knockers recently, and then I looked up. They had like a split screen of her now and her when she was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and I was just like mind blown. I'm like, I didn't even know she was in that shit. I didn't know that was her. I did not know. And my man who played Big Daddy Mars, he's also the alpha zombie in Army of the Dead. So he's one of those creature actor monster guys.
He's the Kevin Parker Hall. Wait, what's the Predator's name?
Kevin Peter
Yeah.
Hall. Kevin Peter Hall, well, not necessarily like Doug Jones is a whole different.
Yeah, that's a whole other category right there.
That's
also
animal.
fucking Andy Serkis shit right there.
Yeah, they got a new guy that's trying to be the next. I know you did not like at all really the Salem's Lot movie. I know you did not. You were not a fan of Barlow, but the guy that played Barlow is about to play Tarman in the Return of the Living Dead sequel. So I'm like, okay, I can appreciate you're about to be. Listen, I'm gonna give it a chance, man. I'm going to give it a chance. He just looked up like, what?
It wasn't that I didn't. I didn't like the design of the current Barlow. I think watching the old Tobe Hooper one, that version was a lot more creepier.
It was.
I just think with the movie, the characters weren't as fleshed out as they should have been. So when certain things happen, you don't care for them. You know what I mean? Like you just didn't. You didn't care for any of the actors and the characters rather.
Okay, so you saw. I had went into the new one. I had never seen the original Salem's Lot. Like I've never seen more than 5-10 minutes of it. Like they start to establish some of the characters. I think they show Barlow wake up in the woods or some shit. I really don't quite remember. But they try to get you in with the characters, and then at some point I was just like, all right, I'm going to have to save this for another day because I know this is a long-ass movie.
Know, Salem's Lot, on some real shit, is basically the first 4 episodes of The Strain.
I've never seen The Strain.
You never seen The Strain either? It's pretty much the same setup, bro. It's the same fucking setup. Real shit. Hey!
Is it like a plague?
Yeah, it's a fucking dog.
Del Toro?
Sorry. My fucking dog is biting my jersey. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Jesus.
Kevin
Okay.
Durant's in here.
All right, so what are your honorable mentions? What do you got for your honorable mentions? I'm curious.
All right, I'll give my honorable mentions. My honorable mentions, what did I have on here? I had 30 Days a Night, but that's like, I feel like that's getting its
recognition.
Yeah, it's definitely getting its dues, but it kind of flew under the radar a tad bit. Bones was one of my honorable mentions. I can appreciate that for them basically trying to do their own, I guess, 2000's version of Candyman, but just make them a different type of ghost gangster, whatever. The Hills Have Eyes 2, remake was on my list of honorable mentions. That's
Never
underrated
seen
as
that.
fuck. That's like it's a Hills Have Eyes movie, but it's a search and rescue movie. Like they turned that shit into some real, like they really made those soldiers, earn their stripes and that shit, and not all of them make it out. And I wanted all of them to make it out, to be honest. The Resident Evil that I had on my honorable mentions was Extinction. Extinction's on my honorable mentions. What the fuck else? Scream 3's in there. Valentine's in there. They Nest, From Hell, Dracula 2000. I had a lot of honorable mentions. The Cave, I threw The Cave a bone as an honorable mention. It's not great, but the idea could have been something. But that rating, it's ass. There's a lot of bad ADR in that movie. Jennifer's Body made my honorable mentions.
Ooh, that one didn't even make my honorable mention. I totally forgot that came out in the 2000s.
We might be getting a sequel to that.
Yeah, and
Amanda
Seyfried
Seyfried
said earlier today, and we're working on it. So
Megan Fox probably didn't even agree to that shit. That's probably Amanda Seyfried just talking shit. Megan Fox sitting home like worrying about how to block Machine Gun Kelly's number again. She ain't worried about no goddamn fucking Jennifer's Body too. She probably wouldn't even do it.
yeah,
I would love to see it.
Yeah,
I would love to see that shit. I have Venom in my honorable mentions too. Venom.
never seen that one either.
You haven't seen? Oh, man, I watched it. I watched it like a couple weeks ago. I was like, let me go back and appreciate this gem. And it is a gem for the ideas, but the dialogue is fucking. I don't know why. I always thought Kevin Williamson wrote it. And then you go back. Hold on, let me make sure, because there's no way Kevin Williamson wrote this movie. And I always thought he wrote it because it was Dimension Films and same director that did I Know What You Did Last Summer. Oh, really?
Yeah, he probably did do it.
I'm like, it's the same director of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, what can go wrong?
Hold that thought really quick.
Oh no, he did not have any parts in this. Hold on, let me look at the list. Let me see. Let me look it up, people, while I hold that thought. We have to see if Kevin Williams had, I called him Kevin Williams. Kevin Williamson had any affiliation with this movie, which I hope he did not, because the writing's fucking terrible. I don't know who all is in this like still in here watching, but these are always the awkward moments when Johnny's off screen and I'm left to fend for myself.
Sorry.
It's a cold time. I was just telling him how awkward these moments are. It gets cold in the streets.
Yeah.
I have to figure out how to talk to these people.
Okay.
I'm sitting there trying to look for. I don't think he
didn't do it.
He was not. Thank God. Thank God.
Okay.
Yeah, this is yeah, you got it. Like, honestly, if you watch it, I feel like you might come out of it like, yo, this could have worked. Like, they had plans to make this like the next Jason, and they said that shit flopped so bad that they scrapped all sequel plans after the fact.
Damn.
It's a really like authentic slasher movie, supernatural slasher movie, but I'm just execution wise, it's awful. The main girl, she's a fucking paper bag, yo. She's terrible. Agnes Bruckner. I don't know if she's good in anything else, but her acting's bad in this movie. She was in like Blood and Chocolate or something like that. Blood and Water.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
She was in another movie recently. I don't have my laptop on me, so I can't Google her. But
I'm looking her up now. Let me see what she's been in after Venom. Oh, you said something.
Seen her in a movie.
The 11th Green, The Murder of Nicole Brown Simpson, Immortal, Back Fort, The Return, Once Upon a Time. She got a lot of TV movies and TV shows under her name.
She must be a lifetime. One of those lifetime actresses. We should write a
Blood
movie.
and Chocolate. She was in
movie for
Vacancy.
Lifetime. We should write a movie for Lifetime. We should write a movie for Lifetime, bro. I'm telling you.
Lifetime, I see. I don't play no games with them, man, because they need to be burned down to the foundation. I don't like if it's one. Lifetime and Zeus Network gotta go. They gotta go, and they ain't going nowhere because their target audience is women overall, and like they're not going nowhere. The women are gonna. They love that shit.
Yeah.
But Lifetime, it's just Christmas movies and movies about, it's like Where's My Daughter Part 8. Like those are the movies that they play on Lifetime. I hate that shit, man. Then they got the nerve to do the biopics for Lifetime. They were on a roll with those biopics years ago, man. They could not stop. I think they did like Aaliyah. That was terrible. They did I don't know if it was a Lifetime movie, but they did a Michael Jackson one. They did a Whitney Houston one. All of the biopics they do are terrible.
All right.
They're all bad.
So my honorable mentions are 28 Weeks Later, Funny Games, Teeth, The Loved Ones,
Oh God,
Wrong Turn 2, Dead Space Downfall, which I think is highly underrated. That's a great fucking cartoon.
Animated movie?
Yeah.
I just
seen
it somewhere.
Yeah.
I just scrolled past it like a couple days ago.
Mom and Dad, Otis, Shuttle, Club Dread, and The Hills Run Red. Those are my honorable mentions.
You know what? I thought that was going to be for sure on your list, your actual list somewhere was The Hills Run Red. That's another movie I didn't finish. I remember seeing my man from The Lost Boys 2 was in there, and the American Pie Bandcamp movie, he's in there as one of the leads. I remember seeing William Sadler from Demon Knight was in there. And I just remember this big fucking guy with an axe, and it was something wrong with his face. You could see something wrong with his face behind that mask, and I was like, this shit looks kind of like it looks like they're trying to do their own version of Jason
and wraps it around his face.
Wait,
and
what?
And disfigures himself. It's crazy, bro. He does it for the role. It is the movie that was gonna be on my list going into it. But because I talk about that movie so much, again, I wanted to highlight other movies that I really don't get the chance to talk about.
What the fuck is going on with his... What did he do to his face?
He put barbed wire and disfigured his own face.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and then he gets a baby mask and he sews the baby mask onto his own face.
Oh, yeah, you fucked up, dog. I'm not playing with... I would never... Y'all going where? He's out there? Nah. You mutilate your own body. How are the kills in this movie? Because I watched this shit tonight. I can get into.
It's really good. There are some really good set pieces on here. Honestly, bro. You will enjoy it, bro. Seriously.
Yeah,
you will enjoy it.
This shit's something. This is some shit that I could put on like tonight. Like
it's like
not
90
even on someone laying
minutes.
down falling asleep.
90 minutes, bro. Easy breeze, an easy watch.
And of course, they got in the category underneath this movie, they've got like Hatchet 3, Chrome Skull. They got Wrong Turn 2. See No Evil didn't make your list.
I haven't seen See No Evil. I have not seen that movie.
Shit, neither one of them.
I haven't seen either one of them. I know my boy Paul always talks about those two movies a lot. Oh, those are badass movies. But I'm like, dude, I've been on a podcast with you, bro. I know what kind of movies you like, so I don't know.
Listen,
and
the setting for See No Evil is decent. It's a run the fuck down abandoned hotel. It's called the Blackwell Hotel. This like setting wise, it's cool. The set looks like shit. It looks really cheap. The editing and the direction of the movie is awful.
Is it Jeepers Creepers Reborn bad?
No, it's not that bad. It's not that. It ain't that goddamn bad.
Okay,
it's not that bad. Like I just like they really put an emphasis. Like every hallway every room, every bathroom, the ceilings, like everything just looks like a horror movie. Like they're just kind of like, this is a fucking horror movie from WWE, and you're gonna fucking love it. The directing is terrible. It's awful. There's a shot where somebody gets a hook through their chin, but it's coming down from the ceiling, and they show like it's in real time, but the hook is literally like coming down like enough time for the guy to turn around, and they've got like a close up on the hook, and it looks awful. Then they show the insert shot of it going into him, and he gets pulled up into the ceiling. His gun goes off. It's the directing is terrible. The performances are terrible. But Kane somehow, Kane is he's a brute. He's a brute, man. Like he looks scary. Like there's a shot of him when he kills somebody and he pulls him into the elevator, and the elevator door is shut while he's just staring at the camera. I was like, this dude, you don't want to run into him. And part 2, he only gets more badass. And Danielle Harris is cool in there. Like you got somebody to root for. And I think they got the girl
from directed part 2 and 3, I believe.
Yeah. No, they didn't get to do part 3 yet. They did part 2.
Oh, wait.
I give them...
So there wasn't a part 3? I thought there was a part 3.
No, not better not be. Shit, I didn't see it.
Yeah, because I know the Soska Sisters did the sequel, and I heard the sequel was actually a step up from the first one.
Yes, it was. Like the setting, it's a morgue. His body, he wakes up. It's like some Friday the 13th shit. He wakes up in the morgue, gets a mask, puts on a leather apron, and starts going to town. But when he's not killing people, he's gripping people up. He's busting through doors. Like he's still a brute. But like it is definitely a step up. And I like the Soaks Sisters. I like when they did that. But that Festival of the Living Dead shit, they can go like, come on now, no.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with that movie.
That was just disrespectful. Damn, this is from 2022. They said See No Evil 3 updates. Will the WWE slasher series return?
Well, WWE Studios shut down, so
did
they shut that shit down in 2022, 2023, I believe. So they stopped making movies altogether.
I mean, they gave us classics like See No Evil 2, Leprechaun Origins. They gave us classics like
The Marine.
What's the movie with with Stone Cold where they get the Condemned?
Damn.
I want to watch that movie so bad because I feel like if I turn my brain off, it's passable.
I honestly thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was that bad. I think they were really just trying to capitalize on the Hunger Games. That's what
they had was
they were doing.
Trejo fucking You see if Danny Trejo was in this shit.
No, Vinnie Jones is though.
Vinnie Jones is in every fucking thing, man. Vinnie Jones is in everything except Deadpool and Wolverine, where he could have been, but he chose not to because he said he didn't want to wear that. He said he didn't want to wear that suit again.
Yeah, he's like, fuck that shit. I don't blame him, dude. I don't blame him.
Rick Hoffman, Manu Bennett. I feel like that guy's name is super familiar.
The only two people that were like any stars in that movie was Vinnie Jones and Stone Cold.
Manu Bennett was in 30 Days a Night. I don't know who the fuck he was, but it says he was in there.
Must
Nathan Jones
have been one of the kids.
Tori Musette. Yeah, I don't know who. I'm pretty sure they all die by the end of this.
Yeah, there's only
it's like
one person that lives.
Stone Cold.
Yeah, obviously.
Jesus
it's his movie.
Christ, man.
Like, why would he die? Like, if you've seen The Running Man, you know how this shit plays out.
Listen, I feel like I don't know how many times an episode I say, yo, I haven't seen that either. Because the Running Man, when I found out the remake was coming out, I was like, yeah, I guess it's time to watch the first one. And everybody was like, yo, you won't be disappointed. Then I watched the trailer for it. I was like, this is early Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know how this is gonna.
The trailer is totally misleading, bro. It's so misleading, the trailer. Because whatever the trailer, because I watched that same trailer, it's like a minute and a half. That trailer does not do the film justice. I promise.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this, man? This shit looks so cheesy. When I watched that trailer, I didn't know if I wanted to get into it or not. Oh, and this was written by the guy who directed Street Fighter, the original Running Man.
Steve DeZosa.
That's another watch along. It's either Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun-Li, or Mortal Kombat Annihilation. He said, whoo.
I can only do one of those movies, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. One or the other. The lesser of two evils. I
feel like I've been like, choice, right? All right, we should probably put that in the schedule, like for April. Let's just pencil that motherfucker in for April. That watch along. We'll just do that. Because chances are, the MK2, the trailer, will probably drop by then. So it'll probably be time.
I hope so, man. Let's see. Wait. So we doing one or the other, or which one you want?
We'll do Annihilation. We'll do Annihilation because I feel like we can have more jokes with that one.
That's gonna be a time.
And I also need to find a website where I can watch that movie.
I'll send it to you for sure.
All right.
Because I know you're like, I am not paying for this bullshit. Like,
no, dude. I ain't paying for that shit, dude. No way.
Bro, I'm telling you, you gotta at least do a pregame watch before the stream, or not, man. But I am telling you, I went back and watched it a couple nights ago, and I was like, this is pure gold at our fingertips, man. Like in '97, you could not tell me that was not the best movie ever. Then you watch it, they literally gave you the first four games in one movie.
Motherfucking 97. You know what else came out in '97? Batman and Robin.
Damn. That was to be young, man, because we were so stupid. Like Batman and Robin, I remember I had a comic book that was made specifically for that movie. I was reading the comic book as a kid, watching the VHS, like saying the lines and shit. I was like, yo, this is amazing. Rest in peace, shout out to Joel Schumacher.
Yeah.
For sure. But y'all know
that wasn't it.
And there was some girl on TikTok that was actually like, she was trying to make sense of it all. She was like, if you guys really break it down, this is the most comic book accurate Batman movie that we have. And I said, let me just hear her out and see what she's saying. And she was saying, if you compare it to like the OG '60s version, like how cheesy it was, and animated it was, and she was like, y'all need to stop hating on it. This is the closest we've gotten to comic book version Bane and such and such. And I'm like, look, man, like I get what you're doing, but this movie's still shit. Like, there's nothing. You can look at it from that perspective nowadays and be like, yeah, maybe that's what Schumacher was going for, but the overall outcome, the movie is a piece of shit.
I don't even think that's what he was going for. To tell you the truth,
I think that
shit was just an accident.
Prior to studio was probably on some doing what Warner Brothers does, man.
Well, Joe Schumacher has said, like on record, there was an interview where he said that he didn't want to do Batman and Robin, but the studio gave him a lot of money and a lot of leeway. Said, hey, you can do whatever the fuck you want. He was like, bet.
You don't want to do what?
So it's like, what? Yeah, Batman and Robin, Mortal Kombat Annihilation came out the same fucking year, bro, and it was disastrous. It was bad.
We were down bad back in the day. Didn't Steel come out in '97 too, or was that Spawn? Spawn
came out in '97. Steel came out 2 years prior, because I was still in elementary when Steel came out.
Steel was '97.
Oh, was it really?
Yo, it was 97. Spawn was, oh my God. And I don't want to hate on Spawn too much. Yeah, Spawn was 97. Yo, we were down pretty bad in 1997. That was a dark, that was like the fucking Great Depression.
Yeah. Well, I was like, holy shit, man.
Yo, that's another topic we could do eventually. Like, what was one of the worst fucking years for just film in general? Like,
I don't know. Just like looking at it, 97 is kind of gotten it so far.
Man, yo, 97. Hold on, yo, hold on. I mean, we did all right. Like, I don't really like Titanic, but people love that. The Lost World, Liar Liar, Air Force One. I think they're just showcasing all the good shit. Tomorrow Never Dies. I got to go back and watch that.
That's
Turbulence.
That's an okay one. That's not a. Honestly, out of all the Brosnan ones, to me, that's like the best one.
Tomorrow Never Dies?
Yeah. I mean, I love GoldenEye, but GoldenEye wasn't meant for Bronson. That was meant for Dalton. So I always counted that as part of the Timothy Dalton trilogy.
We got Gridlocked and that's my shit. The Pest, Dangerous Ground,
Ooh.
Absolute Power, Vegas Vacation, Rosewood, Leprechaun in Space, Double Team, The Saint, Anaconda. He said,
Wait, did
movies in 97,
Starship Troopers come out in 97 too?
Oh my God, did it? Hold on. That shit came out in 97 too. Yo, 97 was an interesting movie, yo.
Oh.
I mean, I said interesting movie. It was an interesting year. Sure.
Yeah, shit. We could. What was our topic for 2 weeks? What are we doing for 2 weeks? We should probably do that. What was the word like?
Yeah, man. We gonna have to do some extensive research on these years, man. Because 97's already in the running, like, because this shit, I don't know what's the cutoff. Like, where do you want to start from? From like 1990 up until I don't know.
How about this? What was the earliest memory that you have going to the theater?
Damn,
what was the earliest memory you have of going to the theater?
The earliest memory of the theater, I'm trying to think because I feel like it's a theater experience that I can't even remember.
Oh, it's not
like
even a theater experience, but like, what's the earliest movie you can remember, like you seen in the theater? Like, what was the movie that you can remember seeing in the theater? Like very early, I don't know, very young.
Jurassic Park, maybe,
which would be 93.
Like 93, I think that was. I feel like as far back as I can remember, I want to say
I always wanted to be a gangster. You said as far back as I can remember. So
I didn't even put that shit together at first. I was like, wait, what? And then I just heard the music play in my head, and it's like, yeah, we got time to watch Goodfellas. Time to watch Goodfellas again. Rest in peace. Shout out to Ray Liotta.
Rest in peace. For me, 92 T2.
You see that shit in the theater?
In the theater.
Oof. Terminator 2, man. That is. I'm planning on doing.
I saw it at the drive-in, and then I went to my Nana's house, and she took all of us to go see T2 in the theater, and it was just like, what the fuck? This was awesome. So.
Listen, I'm just throwing this out there. I feel like my uncle gonna bullshit me. I'm planning on doing a revisited for Terminator 2, a revisited commentary. That's all I'm saying. I'm just putting that out there.
That'd be dope.
Like I had commentary for, and I'm not even trying to be smart, but I had commentary with somebody I went to school with for Terminator 1 because we grew up watching that movie and making fun of it. Then I had him and another person I went to school with that we both went to school with on for Terminator 2, and it was okay, but it wasn't like. I don't know, like I'm not gonna say it wasn't good. It was just like when I used to go back and listen to it, I'm just like, this is just like Like, I feel like I was like, I'm not saying we gotta crack jokes and all of that shit, but I just felt like motherfuckers was just like really uptight and just didn't like kind of know how to let their shoulders down. Let's make fun of these scenes and shit. All of the shit that we talk about and laugh about over the
Yeah.
years with these movies in particular, like this is. I'm putting y'all on here so y'all can let loose. Like, don't worry about, we're not going to get canceled and all of this other shit. Nobody cares if you curse or if you spark up a cigarette while, like, we were all sitting in the living room doing T2, and I'm like, this is just lackluster for the most part. So I got rid of the episodes, and I told myself I'm going to do Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 revisited commentaries, and I'm going to make them bangers this time around. So I'm just throwing that out.
I say we do like 93. We start 93 and then we just go up to like maybe like what? To now? Or is that too much?
That's a lot. That's a lot.
So what would your cutoff be?
Uwe Boll had a good run as far as bad movies in years.
Yeah. But a lot of them didn't come up to theater though, so we should be thankful for that.
I don't know how they gave that man a theatrical release. Yeah, it's going to be. So you want one? We're going to do one from every.
Or we can pick like 1 year from like each decade. What ones that we think are is bad.
Yeah, this going to be interesting. Because hold on. So if it's one from each, we had to pick one bad movie from the 90s, one bad movie from the 2000s.
No, one bad year from the decade. Like one bad year.
Oh, one bad year from the decade.
Yeah.
All right. So that's.
Say we start from the 90s, we would pick like, okay, I'd pick maybe 95. Because I think 95 was terrible.
Yeah, what do we have in 95? I don't.
The highest grossing movie in 1995 was motherfucking Die Hard with a Vengeance.
For real?
Yeah.
I mean, rightfully so, but that's yeah, you're right. Toy Story right behind it. Then there's Apollo 13, then there's GoldenEye, Pocahontas, Batman Forever, Seven, Casper, Waterworld, Jumanji. Die Hard made that much money?
Yeah.
Over Disney shit?
Right?
Even Jumanji, I would have assumed Jumanji made more money.
Jumanji made all his money back on VHS.
Batman Forever made less money than Die Hard. And I know it's not the greatest Batman movie, but it's Batman.
Yeah.
Apollo 13, that was a pretty big damn.
7 was
all right,
considered a flop. I mean, Apollo 13 was a critical darling.
That's this crazy Die Hard made bank like that.
Yeah, I think it was like a Memorial Day. It came out Memorial Day weekend. It was a #1 movie for like 3 weeks.
Demon Knight was in 95. The Highlander. Boys on the Side and the Mouth of Madness. Billy Madison. I did not. I watched Billy Madison like trying to gear up for I don't know if it was the trailer or just to try to warm up to the new one. I did not. I don't get it. Wait, is it Billy Madison? What's the one with the golf? The one that he's got a sequel to.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, that one. That's the one I watched like a couple months ago. Just I was like, let me check it out and see. I was like, why are y'all doing a sequel to this? Why? But that's the new thing. Everybody's about to spin the block on their old popular movie.
I don't care for Billy Madison either. And there's people that love that fucking movie, and I just don't understand why.
Three Ninjas Knuckle Up came out in 95.
Oh, that was terrible.
Dolores Claiborne, Major Payne. 95 had Tank Girl. Oh, boy. I didn't know I didn't know Rachel Talalay directed this. I didn't know she directed this movie, yo.
Which one?
Tommy Boy. Yeah, I did not know she did that.
Chamber Graham says, I didn't like Billy Madison. That movie sucked.
Really,
Gamer
man.
Harold, what's up, Gamer? No way you guys are back and cooler than
Yo,
ever. Appreciate you, Gamer Harold. Mad
what's
love.
good, bro? Thank you for joining. However long it is, we appreciate
Yeah.
y'all. Friday came out in '95. Village of the Damned. Jesus. Oof.
Right? Like, come on. Like, that's kind of a bad year, dude. That's kind of a bad fucking year for movies. Like, you think about it.
Braveheart, Tales from the Hood, Casper, Johnny Mnemonic, Johnny Mnemonic.
Which I saw in the theater also. Saw that one in the
Ooh.
theater too.
I'm sorry you had to go through that,
I
man.
was like, what the
I'm
fuck is
sorry.
this?
That shit.
On a rewatch, this movie is okay, but like watching it back then, dude, when I'm like 10 years old, I don't understand a fucking thing that's going on.
It's like
Like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, what the fuck is this movie talking about?
that shit
What
was
is this
way too
internet that
advanced.
everyone is so fascinated with?
They was trying too hard to be super advanced and sound smart in that movie.
Yeah.
Judge Dredd,
Ooh.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Species, Darkman 2. That's everybody's favorite Darkman movie.
Nah,
Indian in the
man.
Cupboard, Clueless, Free Willy 2. Kids.
And you're still on 95? This is still 95?
Yeah.
God,
I'm in
yeah.
July. The Net, Operation Dumbo Drop, Bushwhacked. I forgot all about this movie,
Oh
man.
my god.
I don't know
That's
if
the one
y'all
with
out
Daniel
there.
Stern?
Yeah, man. I don't know if y'all out there have seen Bushwhacked. It is one of the funniest slapstick, just goofy, stupid comedies of the '90s ever, man. Like Daniel Stern is on 1,000 in that movie.
Hey,
Dangerous
you think he's all hella
Minds.
coked up and shit. Chamber Graham says Judge Dredd, I am the law. I thought it was a good movie with Sylvester.
You
I thought it was okay.
create the law. The Babysitter
I was okay.
Club, Mortal Kombat, Desperado, Dr. Jekyll, and Miss Hyde. Have you ever seen that shit?
No, but I'll have to confuse that with Love Portion Number 9 with Sandra Bullock and Tate Donovan.
No. Dr. Jekyll and Miss Hyde used to come on HBO faithfully, man. I don't know if you can get this movie made today. It is fucking nuts, yo. That chick, I used to really think that, because the chick that is a doctor, Mrs. Hyde, when he turns into the woman after taking the potion, it's the chick from Ace Ventura that plays like the, Ray Finkel.
Oh,
I used to think she was really a dude, yo. Because I'm like, all right, this is the second time you've been in, like, your role has been compromised as a gender. And I was just like, wait, let me be careful. Let me be very
yeah.
fucking careful with what I'm
I'm
saying.
going to say, wait a minute.
Y'all know what the fuck I'm saying
Hey,
at this point, man.
hey,
Y'all
it's like
know
it's on par with me confusing Mad George. You know what I mean? Remember that shit?
I forgot about you screaming, man, George. She was like, wait, he's a she, right?
No, nope.
I was like,
We could.
I even had to look it up. I was like, wait, hold on. Yeah, he had me confused for a second. I was like, wait, have we been lied to? Funny enough, as I'm still scrolling and we're trying not to get canceled, I scroll past Tu Wong Fu. That also came out in '95. Yeah, we was down bad. We down bad in '95.
Yeah, 95.
Clockers, Angus.
Oh my god. Is that one with that big dude with the bowl cut and shit?
Yeah, and it's got not shit brick, the Shermanator from
Yeah.
American Pie in there, man. God damn, Angus, we don't get movies like that anymore. I thought that was a panther that just walked up on you just now. I'm not gonna lie, I saw it out my peripherals and got a little concerned. I was like, I hope he's all right.
Yeah, that's my dog, man. Shadow being a little baby. I don't know why. Oh my
Is
god.
that's not a Labrador, is it?
It's a mix. A lab mixed with a husk.
Oh shit, you got a xenomorph.
And like kind of a pit too.
Empire Records. I had this on my watch list. I wanted to check this
I
shit
have
out.
not seen that movie. I know Liv
Yeah,
Tyler's in it though.
Yeah, the cast is cast is
Robin
pretty good.
Tooney. Robin
Mhm.
Tooney's in there.
The Big Green. I think this was that
Yeah,
soccer movie.
with fucking Ham from
Yeah,
Sandlot. I used to
from
have that
Sandlot.
movie.
Yep.
I used to have that movie. That was actually one of my
Yo,
favorite movies growing up.
he's in this slasher movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's called Dark Ride. It was one of those. You remember when they were coming out with those DVDs, those after dark film
Yeah,
festivals, or eight films to die for?
yeah.
He's in that movie Dark Ride. It's a slasher movie that takes place at an amusement park. It's not the greatest, but it's one of those after dark movies that's kind of worth checking
Man,
out. The twist on it is
those after
stupid, but
dark movies, man, have they have burned their bridge with me, man, because like there's so many bad ones. There's
yeah.
so many bad ones. There's just one with Rachel Miner. I think it's Penny Dreadful or whatever, where she's stuck in a car.
Penny Dreadful. I know what you're talking
I don't
about.
think it's
I
Penny
don't think
Dreadful. There's Penny stuck
I
in there.
skipped that one. Yeah, I skipped that one, yo.
That one was fucking terrible.
Penny
Tooth
Dreadful.
and Nail was another one that was kind of bad.
That's low key. That's my favorite one of
Nail?
all of those movies. Yeah, because I'm like, okay, like I can appreciate the whole post-apocalyptic thing. I don't think they went as hard as they could have with the, like, if these are cannibals, then show that shit.
Yeah.
They didn't show none of the cannibal scenes in there. And my man, like Ryder Strong, like we talking underrated shit tonight, man. Like Ryder Strong is an underrated act. I love that guy and everything he's in, and he's in there, and he gets to get some ass before he dies. So I mean, you can't be mad at that. David Carradine, though, they wasted his cat.
Yeah,
Robert Carradine.
Borderlands is another one. I think Borderland was actually a solid one where the tourists go down to Mexico and they get abducted by a cartel.
Is that the one on the front cover? It's either a girl or there's a big ass guy on the front cover? I just remember the title.
Borderland is the one with there's two different posters. There's one that's like a red poster and it's a dude hanging from something. But that was a decent one. The Thompsons, the one about the vampire family, that was also another decent one.
They had a zombie one, Mulberry Street. They were like zombie
Mulberry
or some shit like that. It was another one with zombies, kids zombies. It was like Children of the Corn if they were zombies. Wicked Little Things was another one they had. Lake Dead was another one. That shit is terrible. Lake Dead is so lazy and corny. Ugh.
Perkins 14 is a really good one about a guy who abducts all these kids and like trains them to be like animals and shit, and lets them loose on the community, and they start like killing a whole bunch of people. Fucking
fucked up.
Great.
That's fucked up. He said they just let him loose. That's all the way fucked up. The Condemned. Why did I bookmark The Condemned? I'm not watching this shit.
You must have tried to bookmark that before you were looking at the other movie. Do you guys remember the
I was like,
Monster Squad? Yes. Yeah, Monster Squad was great, man. Monster Squad is a great fucking movie.
We had just mentioned Monster Squad earlier in the show. We were talking about the Dark Universe and the fact that they've had so many failed attempts at the Dark Universe, but Monster Squad just threw it all in an 80s movie, which is kid-friendly and still horror, and they pulled it off perfectly. Like, that was Monster Squad's a classic.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that.
It's a lot of people's horror movie version of, like, the Goonies and shit like that.
It's a better version of the Goonies.
Don't tell me you hate the Goonies too.
I fucking hate the Goonies. Like I do, I really do. Like I think the Goonies is fucking terrible.
That's like sacrilegious at this point, yo. That's like
I can't not fuck with that movie. Like I think that movie's bad.
Well, we're getting to see. See, here we go. There we are on our way to get fucking canceled, people.
Like seriously, and they're doing
that one person. It's that one person that will turn the episode on exactly when you did that sloth impression, and they'll get the wrong impression.
I'm just gonna take that clip and just post it up. No context, no nothing.
Yeah. It's just gonna be that shot of the kid like over the kid's shoulder watching you do that, and he's gonna turn around like "Mom," and it's just gonna echo.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, and then yo, that shit is gold, man. What the fuck
Oh.
happened to hard copy, yo? Hard copy was absolutely
TMZ
amazing.
came up. That's what happened. It became
Damn,
TMZ.
that's true.
That's what
Somebody
happened.
was in the YouTube comments because I was just randomly one day I was like, yeah, let me listen to the hard copy theme. Somebody in the YouTube comments was like, every time this popped up, the only people I was hearing about was O.J. Simpson, Ann Nicole Smith, or Tanya Harding. And when they said those names, I'm like, damn. I was like, this was '90s as fuck,
Or
yo.
Mary Kay Letourneau,
Why do I feel like I don't
the teacher that
offhand
married her
remember
son. Not her son. The teacher that married the eighth grader.
the fuck is wrong with this lady? What's her name?
Mary Kay Letourneau. And her husband divorced her
What's up with this
like not too long
lady?
ago.
Oh man. Oh wait, did she pass away? She sure did.
Yeah, I think so. I think like a couple of years ago or a year ago.
2020. She married an eighth grader?
Yeah, I think she had him. I think she had him commit murder, like to kill her husband or some shit like that, if I remember correctly.
2 counts of felony, second degree rape of a child, and subsequently married her former student.
Yes.
Jesus, lady. I'd be very careful with my words, but you are out of fucking control. She was 34. This kid was 12.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm not taking it there. I'm not taking it there. Let me get the fuck off of Wikipedia. I'm not even gonna touch that. I ain't even gonna do it. Y'all ain't gonna catch me slipping tonight. I am not touching that subject, man. I'm not. That lady's wild. Like,
Yeah.
that was a wild lady. And it's not really uncommon because you just had this Spanish teacher that was just all had her picture plastered on World Star. What I went right to the comments, and everybody was like, "Yo, how come when I was growing up, my teachers looked like such and such, and the teachers look like this
They
now?"
look like fucking Mel Gibson.
Yeah, man. I think it was like a unicorn when we were kids and we had a teacher that was like bad. It was like something you had never seen before because they all looked 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
Now these teachers, bro, my daughter's first day of school, man. I remember looking around. I was confused as fuck looking around. I was happy. I was emotional. I'm like, oh my God, baby girl done moved up. I'm having a proud parent moment. But you look around at the staff, and I'm like, the staff are pretty much in our age bracket, but they know exactly what they're doing when they hire these female teachers. There's no way y'all don't know, man. And the fathers were very active when school first started, man. Because I'm trying to tell you, it was a sight out there, and I was just looking around like, I got to get the fuck up out of here. Like, I want them to hurry up and call these kids into the school because it's different. It's a different ball game now with the hiring process. It's insane. It's insane. Out of control.
I can only remember one teacher, and her name was Miss Snickers. No bullshit. Snickers. You know, everyone made the Snickers joke.
Of course.
And
she lined herself up. She might not ask for. She lined herself up for every joke.
I think it was like second and third grade. Like she was our substitute teacher, and then it wasn't until like mid-third grade where she became our permanent teacher because Miss Dixon had a maternity leave. But yeah,
Miss Snickers and Miss Dixon.
Yeah, I remember Miss Dixon. She was not happy with me because I never paid attention. I was a bad student. But yeah, that was the only teacher that I can remember that was like, oh, hey, you know what I mean? Like the first verse from The Far Side, she keeps passing me by. Is like, that's what happened.
Yeah, I don't remember any of those from like elementary school, middle school, there was maybe like two. There was one black teacher, one white teacher. It was like two of them that was like, yo, teachers can look like that. By the time high school came around, teachers, it was a whole different ball game. I remember there was people that was trying to smash the English teacher at some point in time, man. Like the English teacher was just a tall white chick with a crazy ass that nobody had ever seen before, and she don't wear no drawers. Like, how you not wearing drawers while you teaching this English class? Like, mind you, English is my favorite subject. It was always my favorite subject. That did not help shit, like at all, man. Like it's different now, but these kids are a lot more reckless. So yeah, they going right at these teachers next. They're trying to come right at them and inside of them. But a lot of them kiss and tell too much. Like, keep it quiet. I'm not condoning it, people. I'm not saying, because it's gonna be that person out there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a double standard. So when the guy gets older, woman is cool. Like, I get it, and I'm not saying I'm cool with that being a double standard. I'm not saying that's okay. I'm just saying
a reality of the situation.
It's a reality.
It's a reality.
A young boy is gonna get a pat on his back, like, yo, you fucked him in such and such, and he's gonna get high fives. His father might even give him a high five when he comes home. You know, his son made CNN for sleeping with his teacher. He's just gonna shake his hand like, don't let your mom.
Like, you know what? We can sell your story to TMZ for like $100,000.
Oh my God! Yeah, and then
if you got photos.
Then they start. Then the parents start pimping out their kid. Like, look, I don't like what you did, but we about to get this money real quick. We about to have your biopic on Lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they fucked up at, is when they say it's gonna be on Lifetime.
Mm-hmm. We can't get Tubi? No, because Lifetime gonna give us the budget. Tubi's just gonna give us a shit editor. We know that's true. We know that's true.
Oh, I just want to, like, Tubi. I want them to just act like certain, like a lot of the movies they come out with exclusively. I just want them to act like they give a fuck. That's it. Just act like y'all give a shit.
The greatest scene ever. Like, there was this scene from a Tubi movie where it's like these two dudes, like these three dudes, are talking, right? It's a single shot. And it cuts back to this dude on a mid shot where he's just by himself, he's talking. And it cut back to the other two dudes, and all of a sudden, there's a whole bunch of people behind him. It's like, what the fuck? And then it cut back to the other dude. And then it cut back to the other two dudes, and there's like a whole fucking neighborhood behind them.
The worst editing ever.
Like,
ever known to man.
Wow. That's crazy.
They gotta get their shit together, man. Like, I believe in them, though. I believe they have the potential, but they just don't give a shit. Tubi just
they need some editors. Hint, right here. I edit. So
they're not gonna hire us, man. We actually have integrity, and we'll be like, man, we don't like that is going to be like that, and they'll just be like, okay, we don't even want you. You have a brain. You want this to be quality work. We don't even need you around here.
We good. We don't need that shit.
Yeah, like, who brought this guy in talking about quality and consistency and shit like that? Yeah, it's like, I don't even know what continuity is. Get him out of here. Fuck.
What? Like, we can film in like 3 different takes? Like, yeah, motherfucker, you just don't need one take.
Damn, I didn't even remember that the Lakers play tonight.
Yeah.
Boy, we've been on that rampage, man. Oof. I told myself, I said, let me enjoy this cloud while I still can, man. I want to enjoy this shit right here, man. It's bad for Dallas, yo.
Yeah.
It's bad. They just lost.
Did you see what he did after he just sunk that 3? Just looked at him like,
all game long. Now, granted, if AD was playing, a lot of that shit wouldn't be like, a lot of that in the paint, like LeBron kept dunking and getting oops and the dunking off vert, like a lot of that ain't going down if AD's in there. But AD is out indefinitely.
Yeah.
They got another guy that's out indefinitely. Kyrie just tore his ACL. He's out for the season. It's bad. It's bad. Nico Harrison got to move. He got to lead. He got to lead the country.
Yeah.
Just leave the country, bro. Just leave.
He is getting flamed, dude. He is getting fucking flamed. I'm like, God damn, I feel bad. Like, who authorized this? Who said this was okay?
He was getting death threats out there.
I don't even follow basketball that much, and even I know that was a stupid fucking trade. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck are you doing?
I almost
You're gonna give
had a heart attack when I seen that
Luka
shit.
away for AD? Nah.
I mean, look,
I thought
AD,
that
like for me,
was
AD is the best.
like a fake news thing, dude. I thought that was
Yeah,
fake.
yeah, me too. And I'm sitting there. I was at my homie's crib. I think it was a Saturday night when they announced it because we had just played the Knicks and we bust ass with the Knicks. AD was out with an injury and we spanked the Knicks ass. And I remember keeping up with the score and all of that. I posted, oh, we won, blah blah blah. And then I seen that shit on Instagram and I was like, nah, this is like I scrolled past it, drunk as shit. Like, nope. I said, nah, this ain't happening.
No.
So I turned the phone towards my homie because his brother, and I grew up with his brother. I turned the phone towards my homie. And I'm like, yo, dog, Luka just got traded to the Lakers, yo, for AD and Max Christie. And he didn't believe me, and I was like, yo, I'm about to hit your brother right now and talk all the shit in the world because these dudes hate the Lakers. Like, even if they're not Sixers fans, like a lot of my friends hate the fucking Lakers, dog. And when I seen that shit, I said, oh, it's about to be over because I never was really a Luka fan, but I respect his game. He's a fucking magician, yo. That dude's insane. That dude's insane, and he's only 26. He just turned 26. His birthday was when we played, I don't know, the Clippers, and we won. He was getting birthday buckets. He's only 26 years old.
What
26.
Fuck, man. That is
and we just,
wow.
And we're number 2 in the West. Like we went from what we was doing to number 2 in the West just soon
Weren't
as
we
Luka
like
got
number
there.
6 going into the
We
All-Star weekend?
We were like 5 or 6 going into the All-Star weekend because it was like a split screen thing that I think I saved. We were in like 5th or 6th place or something like that. And as soon as Luka got there, it's up from there. And him and Brian got it figured out. Our defense is crazy. Yes. I said, let me just enjoy this moment. Let me just enjoy it.
Number 1, Nuggets still?
Yeah, I think so. We're right behind them.
Oh man. So
And we
would
bust
still
their
have to
ass,
go
too.
through.
Ain't nobody worried about Denver neither. And shout out to our listeners that's from Denver, but fuck that. We ain't worried about Denver neither because once we got Luka, we all of a sudden just shut Jokic down and finally spanked Denver's ass. Denver had our number for the last couple of years,
Yeah.
to be honest. Denver been getting us the fuck out of the playoffs, the play-in, all of that.
It's where it matters, man. Like the playoffs, that's where it's gonna matter. Like, can we go a full 7 with Denver? Can we compete with them?
Ain't nobody scared to know. Bring it on. I'm not. Listen, the way we play, I'm not worried about shit. Oh no, the Thunder is first. Wait, is that even in the same? What the fuck am I looking at? Hold on. What am I looking at? Yep, the Thunder is in number 1.
Thunder's 1.
Nuggets is in 3rd. They 39-22. We are 38-21. The Thunder is fucking 50-11. Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Them young boys is not playing. And the Cavaliers in the East is 50-10. Yeah, that's shit.
Cavs got a squad like that?
Yeah. Donovan Mitchell and them boys that they got around him, they cracked the code, yo. They've been going off since the beginning of the season. The Celtics is 2nd in the East. I ain't worried about them either. Like they like a one-trick pony to me. I ain't even impressed by that shit. The Knicks is kind of like they 3rd. They kind of in the they in the mix. They kind of a threat. That boy Brunson is a machine. How the fuck are the Pistons even in 6th place? I don't.
Didn't they start off the season like 0-something?
Bro, they could have put me and you out there on the court, like if that was the case.
Because I remember when we were doing one of our last streams, I had made the joke that the Pistons were just like not doing anything.
Yeah, they had one of like the longest losing streaks in NBA history, if I'm not mistaken. They were ass. But I'm telling you, any given night, man, that's what I love about this shit. Anybody could pop out. Like the Warriors, I don't know how the Warriors are still in 6th place because they've been ass, but they just got Jimmy Butler.
Maintaining. They just been like they've been
at best.
maintaining.
Yeah, exactly. Like we gonna do the bare minimum. We gonna do this Steph shit, this Draymond shit. But they got Jimmy Butler. Like Jimmy Butler, I like him so far for the Warriors, but that dynasty's over. That shit is over.
Yeah.
The Rockets, I don't even like. I just want somebody to whoop Dylan Brooks' ass. Like that's why I don't like the Rockets. I just don't like him. I can't stand that dude, man. Like he always trying to fight somebody, and your attitude is trash.
Hey, Dylan Brooks, is that the
Dylan the villain? He used to play for Memphis, and he was always trying to go at it with LeBron.
Is that the motherfucker that always did the stupid fucking dance?
Yeah, this shit. All of
Fuck that
and they did
guy.
that. They did that pregame ritual a couple seasons back and got cooked when they came in there to play us. They got cooked. So he's absolutely
with Houston now?
Yeah. Trash.
Wow.
He's trash, man. He just was trying to fight the guy SGA that plays for Oklahoma City Thunder. He was just trying to fight him. Like you're a bitch. Like he only does that because you're in the NBA. You know, it's people there that's going to break it up. You don't do that with people on the street. I know you don't. He's not that guy. He ain't that guy.
He ain't John Morant.
John Morant, like I hope John Morant really can fight because he carries himself like, yeah, I know I got them. Yeah. Like, all right, like I hope so. Because somebody can drop his little ass one of these days.
John.
Jaya, sit the fuck down. Like, just play ball. You're an amazing basketball player. Just play your game, sir, and don't even worry about nothing else. Stop trying to be tough and shit.
Seriously, holy shit, man. Yo, man, it's fucking been great being back. I fucking enjoyed this stream. This was so much fun. I think we both needed this. This was fucking great. I can't wait for 2 weeks when we're back. I think we're back on the 11th? The 18th?
Yeah, because I remember I marked it down on the board, bro.
All right.
Yeah, the 18th. Yes. So you want to do that whole
worst year in cinema?
Yeah, worst.
God, damn. Which you want to do? What sounds more appealing? What would you want to do?
Wait, what are you saying? Out of what? The worst year?
We could do the worst year of cinema, which we would just look at like a particular year and say, oh, this is the worst year. Or we can do shit. What was the other idea that you had in the messages? I forgot.
We could just go back and look at shit, to be honest, and just figure it out. I really don't remember.
I don't have my laptop with me, so otherwise I'd fucking look.
One of them, and we don't even have to do this on the next stream, but there is one of them that, like, there's an idea when I sent you the Shrek shit that everybody was bitching about. Oh. Do you know how many times in, like, video game movies or otherwise where they let a lot of shit slide? Like, what made me think of that? No, them motherfuckers did, and I know people love Super Mario Brothers and all that. They didn't say shit about Yoshi looking like shit in that movie. Nobody said nothing, and everybody loved it and let it slide. I'd be damned if I let these people jump out there and be like, yeah, Shrek, this is the worst design ever. No, because it's a lot of shit that these people let slide in their movies just because they like the movie. Mm-hmm. There was always one thing in certain movies that just it was not fucking acceptable. Like, that's like Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Nobody knew that was supposed to be Shinnok. You looking like, who's that? Exactly. Yeah. Shinnok was in Mortal Kombat. Exactly.
Okay, now I can't wait for this fucking rewatch now. Holy shit.
Shinnok is in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Nobody said nothing about when T-Hawk was just a scrawny regular dude in Street Fighter, and they just gave him a bandana at the end. Here, you're Indian. You're a big Indian guy from the video game.
Not even that. They just gave him a frohawk, bro.
stupid shit. It's just terrible shit that people just let slide, and they just nobody talks about it. And then they're bitching about Shrek. I'm like, come on, man, like just stop. And there was somebody in the comments like, well, guys, look at what we did when we complained about Sonic getting a redesign. We can do this if we stick together and complain about the designs. It's like, what the? It's not for me. I've never been
Sonic one was atrocious. It was atrocious. Like it was fucking atrocious.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
But the Shrek thing, I'm like, this is like, what are y'all complaining about? Like, I don't get it. But also,
they also did like a comparison of the old Puss in Boots and the new Puss in Boots, and like no one said anything about Puss in Boots like having a better design or looking differently, because no one really fucking noticed.
Because people
it's just like
they just want to point out all the negative shit, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a fan of the Shrek movie, so I don't know. Maybe I just don't get it, but I'm just like, yo, are we really adults like complaining about this shit? I'm like, a lot of people probably complain and don't even fucking like the Shrek movies. Like they probably don't even care about the Shrek movies. I don't get it. It's not that crazy. There's minor things about it that are different, and they're unnoticeable, to be honest. Because I watched the Shrek movie and I was like, oh, Zendaya's doing the voice, but they got Cameron Diaz and Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy back. I'm like, that okay, cool. I didn't think nothing of it. Then I look at the comments. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
People just want to complain about everything, bro. They just want to complain about every single fucking thing. Yeah. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
All right, we'll figure it out for what the 18th is. We'll talk about it in the DMs and see what we got. But yeah, tune in on the 18th. We're definitely going to talk about Daredevil, because Daredevil comes out tonight.
Oh,
so by that point, we'll have fucking 6 episodes to rant about. Because they're coming out with 2 episodes per night. So.
Oh, okay. This is the Born Again series, right?
Yeah, there's a Born Again series.
That trailer, oh man, that shit looks so good. Yeah. I said, this looks good. This looks good as fuck.
Yeah, we back. Let's hope. I'm about to find out, because I'm going to watch them tonight, and then probably do a mini review on them on TikTok. But other than that, thank you everybody for joining in. Shout out to Giant for joining in the stream. Appreciate you. Yes. Giant, you got an open door policy, so anytime, just hit us up.
You just got you got to watch that. You got to be careful with the volume. That gated community over there, Giant.
I know.
We don't want to get you excited and get you kicked the fuck out of there or something like that because of our stream engagement. So
yeah,
but no,
those old white people, bro, are no fucking joke, man. Let me tell you.
He stick around long enough. He'll know.
Yep.
He'll know for sure.
Yep.
You go get.
All right, man. Till then, we'll see you on the 18th.